Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, the Monty Show live on your YouTube machine. A pleasure to be with you as always. Presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Simply, folks, I tell you every single day, the Advocates use empathy. There's nothing that you're going through that they have not experienced in their practice. I've known the guys at the Advocates for going on 15 years now or something like that. They're the best in the business for a reason. They get it. They're professional. They win, which is why they never ask you to pay them a penny unless and until they win your case. Right now, theadvocates.com. Go chat with an attorney live online. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Do you guys understand that 50 states in the United States of America are under a weather warning today? Did you guys see that today with the crazy winter weather? My friends, if you've been in an accident, if you slip and fall, you didn't deserve to get into that accident, but you do deserve an advocate at theadvocates.com. Boy, how about last night? I don't know if you guys heard, there was a little bit of a football game, and the Michigan Wolverines come out on top. They are the champions of college football. And listen, I'm 50. I've seen a lot of college football in my life. I think this is easily and by far the most controversial ending to a college football season of my lifetime. Jake, should the Michigan Wolverines have an asterisk next to their championship in the record books?
Not until they're disciplined for what allegedly happened. And I think that's the most important word here. Allegedly. I mean, I agree that they cheated. That's my opinion, though. It hasn't been factually proven, in a public way that they actually did what they're being accused of. So, yeah, do I think they cheated? Do I think that they stole signs and beat Rutgers 10 ways to Sunday and everyone else in the Big Ten? Absolutely. But that doesn't change the fact that you ran through, Alabama, you ran through a nothing burger in Iowa. Like, you did what you had to do to go out and win a championship. And if you're a Michigan fan, celebrating that. And if you're a Michigan fan, ignore the haters. But for those of us who live in reality, I think we all begin to understand that whether there's an asterisk on the piece of paper or not, when people look back on this season, we're going to remember two things. That offensive and defensive line for Michigan, and Jim Harbaugh left for the NFL probably, and Jim Harbaugh runs a program that typically is not exactly up to snuff, if you will. That's like the tea leaves of Michigan football, I feel like right now. Yeah, you're national champions. Yeah, you deserve it. You earned it. You won that game. And I have a lot of thoughts on that game, and we'll get to that. But when we look back on this game in 10 years, nobody's going to forget what went down with Connor Stallions. No one's going to forget what went down between him and Blake Corum. What went down between, some G5 program and the Michigan football team. No one's going to forget about Jim McElwain, right? Like, we're not just going to magically forget about all these things. So should there be an asterisk on the piece of paper next to their championship? No, probably not. That's probably inappropriate. But in the court of public opinion, I think there will always be an asterisk.
See, but the hard part about this is, and I don't even know that it's arguable, Michigan was by far the best team in college football this year. And Georgia fan, I hear you in our comment section. Great. Congratulations. You had a great season. Michigan's the champion of college football. You lost at the wrong time. You can sit here and cry in your Cheerios if you're Florida State. You weren't even close to Michigan. The Michigan Wolverines were the best team in college football this year. And I don't care if you put an asterisk on the page. I don't care if you retract a championship or whatever you want to do down the road. There's no changing the fact that Balake and Free Harbaugh and that defense were the best college football team in the country this year. Everybody was waiting for them to fail against Bama. It didn't happen. Everybody was waiting for them to fail against Big Penix Energy, and it didn't happen. From what I saw, and I think what most people saw, Michigan was the best college football team. You can't take that away from them. You want to talk about Jim Harbaugh? You want to talk about cheating last night? Jim Harbaugh talking about how everybody knows they're innocent. Everybody doesn't know you're innocent. Nobody thinks you're innocent. The bottom line is nobody cared last night because we were enjoying one of the more dominant performances in a college football playoff game we've seen. And I think there is a time, and now is probably that time if we're being honest. But last night during the game and right after the game was not the time to be asking Jim Harbaugh if he was a cheater or if he was going to the NFL. Or Jim Harbaugh and his Michigan Wolverines are national champions, and I think they earned it. And frankly, I think, yeah, are they going to lose wins? Maybe. Is the NCAA going to crack down on Michigan? If Jim Harbaugh's still there, I think they're going to hammer him. But I don't think Jim's going to be there, and I don't think we're retracting championships anymore.
And, I think, as far as the game goes, like, I'm not ready to sit here and say that's one of the most dominant victories I've ever seen. What it is one of the worst games that Michael Penix has played, and that's his own damn fault. And Michigan deserved to win that game, because if you can't find Odunze wide open up the boundary, whether it's his fault or your fault, it's your fault. You're the quarterback of the team. Make a damn throw. Like, how many times was Washington behind their defense last night and you couldn't complete a pass?
But why was that? Because he was under constant pressure and he was in a hurry to release the football. I am not the guy who's going to go with you on that.
That doesn't change the fact that he's wide open behind Michigan's defense.
Right.
He's
and
wide open.
Because Michael Penix was under pressure all night. He didn't set his feet and he missed the direction on the throw because he was expecting to get hit when he released it. And that's a credit to Michigan's defense. I don't think, when I look at that game last night, I don't think I have seen a more intimidating front seven than what I saw Michigan do to Michael Penix last night. You took one of the most refined passers in college football and you scared the crap out of him. That's what last night was. And how do you explain that exact play where he misses Odunze wide open? And not only did he overthrow it, he threw it to the wrong shoulder. All you have to do is lead him down the numbers. That's a touchdown. You not only didn't lead him down the numbers, you almost threw it out of bounds and you threw it over his back shoulder. Like, you were intimidated. You were scared. The game was over and Michael Penix was limping off the field because of how often he got hit. This was a dominant performance. This is one of the best defensive teams I think we've seen in at least a decade in college football. And Michigan deserves all the credit in the world because those kids could have easily folded. You could easily have lost one of those last three games. You could have made excuses about how it was taken from you and been a victim. And they didn't do that. They just went out and kicked ass 5 straight weeks. And that's how they won the national championship. Now, again, is there a conversation to be had about them cheating? Yes. Is there a conversation to be had about discipline? Absolutely. But there's no conversation to be had about who the best college football team in the country was, in my opinion, because I think head and shoulders it was Michigan.
Well, that's great. I disagree. They won the championship, but I think Washington missed wide open play after wide open play last night. So it is what it is.
But so the why doesn't matter?
The 6 plays into the game where he misses him, that play we're discussing, that's the same situation he's been in multiple times this year. He's had a guy at his feet all season long. We talked about it yesterday. Like, that's not, he wasn't scared in that moment. That was 6 plays into the game or whatever, dude.
Look at how quickly Michigan's defensive line got to him last night. And we were watching the game. It was 4 down linemen that were getting to him.
Mm-hmm.
It was 4 down linemen. And it was all night long. Penix was off for a reason. And I'm not a guy who believes when you're a quarterback of the quality of Michael Penix, you don't just have an off night. You have an off night because you got that ass beat. That's why you have an off night. And I just don't.
My point is at that time in the game, they had not gotten to him yet. What was that, their first drive? And he missed them. That's not on the defensive line. That's on Michael Penix.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe I don't know dick about football, but when you're expecting the defensive line to be there and you're missing throws that you've made all season, the defensive line plays a role in that. I think it is completely naive to believe that he was not looking somewhere other than where that football should have been going. He was off all night long. I'm here for this conversation about whether or not Michigan cheated. I'm here for your disappointment about a cheating program winning the national championship. I'm here for it today. But there's no conversation we had. That's the best football team in the country at Michigan. Why are we trying to say they're not? That's the thing that I don't understand. Michael Penix, you showed up and you choked. You lost the game.
See, I'm here for that.
And
That's basically what I'm saying.
And you didn't execute because you were terrified. It was very clear to me he didn't want to run. He didn't want to stand in the pocket and deliver the football because he was terrified. What was he terrified of? His own shadow? I don't think so. I think he was terrified of that blitz. The pre-snap reads, you could see he was taking the snap down to 4, 3, 2, like the entire first half, because he was double and triple checking what he was seeing in the pre-snap read. And when you're overthinking stuff, and hey, you want to say that the Michigan defense had no part in this? Okay, then why wasn't he looking for Odunze the entire night? How many times was Odunze open on the back door and he never even looked over there? Well, why is that? Because he didn't want to go through progressions. He looked one place and then threw it to another consistently all night long. And why is that? He was scared. That's why. Look at the interception he threw at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
He threw it into triple coverage. You had a guy open underneath, never looked at him. Threw an interception down the field into triple coverage that had no chance. We can sit here and we can crush Michigan, the cheaters, all you want. I'm here for it. That's the best football team in the country. Washington is not nearly as good as Michigan. They're not nearly as physical. Their offensive line got their ass kicked for pretty much the entire second half. Holding penalties, just lack of, like, your right tackle and your right guard should learn how to communicate. Or if you were communicating, then learn to understand what your defender in front of you was doing. Because how many times did the defensive end and the defensive tackle have free runs through the B gap?
Yeah, repeatedly.
Consistently. Washington wasn't ready. Washington's not as good as Michigan. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. Does that mean Washington was a bad team? No, it doesn't. Does that mean that Jesse Minter's a stud? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Best defensive coordinator in the country, Jesse Minter at Michigan. Did he know the offensive signals? Sure he did. Last night, I doubt he did. I doubt it. And that's the other thing that I think a lot of people keep forgetting in all of this. And again, I'm here for the vacuum salesman jokes. But all the cheating and the sign stealing crap, that ended the moment that people found out about it. With, what was that, 5 weeks to go in the season?
Yeah.
All that cheating, sign stealing stuff, that ended as soon as it all became public.
Yeah, I'm just not here to slurp Michigan all day. That you played a good game. We didn't see anything new out of Michigan last night. Nobody's met the standard. That's how I look at it. And I think that Michigan's a very physical team, and they deserve a lot of credit for that. I think JJ McCarthy's nothing special last night, exactly what we said he was going to be. I think they ran the football exactly how we said they were going to run the football. And I left that game not sitting here saying, oh my God, their defensive line was incredible. Yeah, they played well. They did what they were supposed to do. They did the job that they always do. That doesn't have anything to do, in my opinion. I just watched the play again. There was no defensive lineman around Michael Penix on that first play where he missed Odunze.
Right. Oh my God. It doesn't matter if there was a defensive lineman around him. He was worried there was going to be a defensive lineman around him. We got to stop this.
Well,
we got to stop this.
That's your opinion.
We've got to stop this thing where because Michigan stole signs, they sucked last night.
I didn't say that.
And they didn't suck the rest of the year. That's the best football team in the country. And look, again, I'm tired of the cheating conversation. The last 5 weeks, they've been the best football team in the country. Why can't we say that?
Because it's not great to say, yeah, hey, they were the best team in the country on a record built on cheating. That's why it's not fun to say.
Right, but they weren't the best team on a record built on cheating. They were the best team on the field.
Okay.
Period. The last 5 weeks, when they had every reason to fold. I have a lot of respect for those kids because they had every reason to be like, yeah, we lost that game to Maryland, or we lost that game to the Fighting Paternos, or to Lloyd Carr and Ohio State. We lost that game because, and they never did that. They never did that. They weren't even in, I don't even think ever, even against Alabama, we had a chance to win that game at whatever it was, the 1 yard line. I didn't even feel like, I thought they were much better than Alabama. And I look at the numbers last night. What did I tell you was going to happen? Washington was going to have the time of possession advantage. Who had the time of possession advantage last night? Washington. Why did they lose the game? Because Michael Penix was running from ghosts. That's why they lost the game. He turned it over twice. Their yards per rush were 2.3 yards per carry. What did I tell you yesterday? Michigan's going to win running the ball. 8 yards a carry running the football. This isn't rocket science. They were better than Washington, Alabama, Iowa, Ohio State, Maryland, Penn State. Rack it up. They were better than all of those teams. And that's all that matters. I'm okay hating on people, especially when they deserve it. And Michigan deserved it. Last night, Michigan didn't deserve it. Michigan kicked the crap out of Washington up and down that field for 4 quarters. Washington was never in danger of winning that game.
Yeah.
At any point, did you feel like they were in danger of winning the game?
Yeah, when he missed the throw to Odunze, I thought, hey, you make that throw, you're going to win this game. I specifically said it on the show yesterday. I don't give a damn if he was running scared or whatever. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. And we can die on the argument of, my God, they were amazing. Okay, great, fine. If that's your opinion, that doesn't mean it's the only opinion. The fact is, he didn't make the throw.
So it's
well
Washington was a better team if Michael Penix makes throws.
Yeah, they win the ball game if he makes throws.
No, they wouldn't have.
Yes,
never.
they would have.
Okay, based on what?
Based on the fact that he scores a touchdown. So at that point, it'd be 7-3, 7-7. I think it was. It would have been tied.
It would be 10-10.
10-10. Great, you're tied instead of down 10.
So then, how do you explain the fact that they came out in the second half with the ball? Had kicked a field goal, came out in the second half with the ball and did absolutely nothing. And he did nothing the rest of the second half. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like
the
wasn't
way I
a factor.
explain that is, hey, you didn't build any momentum in the first half because you missed those throws.
Okay, then how do you explain 8 yards a carry? And how do you just explain away 443 yards of offense out of Michigan? Because it doesn't matter if you are Washington. And all of that is true. And Michael Penix is the greatest quarterback since sliced
You said
Vince
he was the
Young's.
best quarterback in college football
He
yesterday.
He is.
So what are we disagreeing on?
I think he should have won the Heisman. You know what I'm disagreeing on? The reason he didn't perform well last night, because he was scared. That's why he didn't perform well last night.
So the best quarterback in college football was scared from the beginning of the game. That's
your
take.
I believe from the third snap of the game on, he was looking at ghosts.
Okay.
I don't even have a doubt about it. I've seen it 1,000 times. How do you explain that Free Harbaugh outperformed Michael Penix last night? You know why? Because everybody's been hoping for Free Harbaugh to fail for pretty much the entire year. He was used to it. Michael Penix was used to the pat on the back and the daddy ball. And then Michigan was like, yeah, daddy ball's over. We're here for that ass. And they came and took it from him. And they had no answer. So we can sit here and we can shine a turd and say that, well, Michael Penix just had an off night. Michael Penix had an off night because he wasn't ready to play against that defense. Period. End of story. And that does not explain the fact that Washington couldn't stop the run. They ran for 8 yards a carry. Free Harbaugh didn't throw them to a win, friends. I got news for you. Look at the numbers. Do you see the rushing numbers in this game? Michigan ran for 303 yards. That's not Michael Penix sucking. That's Washington's inability to play defense. 303 yards on the ground for Michigan. Michael Penix plays the game of his life. They still lose by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, for sure.
303 yards on the ground. Time of possession, 29 minutes and 16 seconds for Michigan, 30-44 for Washington. You had every chance. You weren't good enough to take advantage of it. And again, I run out of runway for the people who are like, well, Michigan cheated. They shouldn't have won. They shouldn't be national champions.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, then how do you explain the last 5 weeks?
I never said they didn't deserve the title because they cheated. That's not what I said.
Right. I understand. What my point is that Michigan was very clearly head and shoulders the better team last night. They like varsity JV. That's what this was. Like this great offensive line that did not perform last night. 4-man box. First quarter, how many blitzes did Michigan run? 2? Like they put 4 guys in the backfield last night. That's all they rushed for most of the first, I would even say the first half. 4 guys in the box. And you couldn't stop that because you're just not good enough. So we can make all these excuses. Michigan, just say it with me. It feels better. It's like when you get into the swimming pool and you just won't dive in, so you inch in until the boys are sunk, right? Because it's just too cold. Instead of just diving in. So just dive in with me and say, Michigan was the best team in football this year, and certainly they were the best team on the field last night. They were better than Alabama. They were certainly better than Ohio State. They were better than Alabama, and they were certainly better than Washington.
Yeah.
And you still disagree. Okay. I'm here
I just think
for
you're
it.
not open to other opinions on it. I think you're not willing to say, hey, I disagree that the guy, Michael Penix Jr. is running scared on the first possession of the ball game.
I didn't say the first possession. I said Michael Penix Jr., I think on one of the first 5 snaps of the game, he got hit. And it hurt. From that moment on, the moment that Dylan Johnson, what did I tell you Michigan was going to do to number 7?
Yeah, and they did it.
I told you they were going to tackle his feet. And what did they do? Tackled his feet. He was never the same player. I think that moment changed the game. And I want to say it was the 3rd or 4th snap offensively, and Penix got hit, and it hurt. He was never the same guy. Never the same. There might as well have been 5 guys pulling him down all night long.
Yeah.
Because he was not going to make a throw. The interception out of the first half, coming out of halftime, like one of the worst throws I've ever seen him make. Like what decision making was that? So there you go. I just am, yeah. It was Michigan the better team last night.
Yeah, they won the game.
Yeah, well, yeah. Shaner for $5 says, congrats on 50K subs. Yes. 4 minutes from now, we're going to tell you what that means to you. Thank you, Shaner. Dakota Tubbs, Ann Arbor, Michigan has the highest number of people who cheat in the nation outside of Lawrence, Kansas.
Who cares?
And what does that mean? UW fan Jim for $5. Michigan was the better team. They beat us and should get all the credit. But almost everything else you said was silly. Okay, like what? Chapter and verse, name it. That Michigan ran for 8 yards a carry? That Michael Penix was terrified? That he choked? That Michigan tackled Dylan Johnson's legs? I mean, I think pretty much everything we said about this game last night pretty much came true. And the first team to 30, in fact, won. Dylan Johnson, 11 carries, 33 yards, average 3 yards a carry, was not a factor in the game. So I don't know what else, what silliness I said, like, so you disagree that Penix was scared. Why was he off his back foot all night? I mean, that, in my opinion, the only reason that quarterbacks are on their back leg, especially for a guy that's a step and throw quarterback like Michael Penix is, why was he on his back foot all night? Why was he pushing the ball instead of throwing it? Like the throw that Jake is obsessing over, where he missed it on the outside shoulder and overthrew him. Well, because he's just hucking it. He's not passing the football. He's hucking it off his back leg because he's nervous about what's coming.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
I mean, it's remarkable to me. And again, I just tell you, 4 down linemen in most of the first half last night.
Nobody's disputing. They have a better defensive line. Everybody knew that. It's on tape. They've seen it all season. And what's most disappointing, if he was, in fact, intimidated by that defensive line, that's one of the most disappointing things a football player could ever be. It is why are you even playing the game if you're going to show up and be scared of a Michigan team? Why are you even playing the game?
And if you don't like the word scared, because I see UW fan Jim melting down.
Like I'm not even obsessing over the word scared. Okay, intimidated. Let me give you the corporatese, risk averse to their defensive line. Like whatever words you want to use. If the guy rolled up, spending more mental energy on the defensive line than making a freaking pass to his number one receiver that would have put 7 points on the board and would have stemmed the tide, don't even get off the damn bus.
Yeah, he was intimidated. I don't know how. I've seen a ton of Michael Penix this year, and I've never seen him look like that. I mean, he walked off the field after the game limping.
The only team, just so we're clear, the only team that I think has any ability to be as physical as Michigan is Georgia. I like Alabama just isn't old enough and mature enough and ready enough with the roster they currently had this season to compete with that team. And that's why I think that game played out the way it did. Everything from can't snap a football to fumbling football. So you're just not ready to play. You're just not ready. It is what it is. Like Georgia, to me, it is one of the most disappointing losses in Kirby Smart's career. You should have beat that Alabama team based on what we saw that Alabama team do to Michigan. And all that was Nick Saban was in Kirby Smart's head, and they didn't get the job done. And that's why I say, cool, Michigan had a great defensive line last night. And this is my thing. Michigan did nothing last night that was new or inventive. Okay,
I totally
Michigan
agree.
was physical. They had a great defensive line. They ran the football. I've been saying that. We've been saying that since like week 1. Like, we've been knowing this about Michigan, yet Washington still has no answer. So let me get this right. You know your ass is going to get beat on the offensive line. You know you're not going to be able to run the football, and your quarterback is spending a lot of mental energy on their defensive line instead of making a throw. His whole damn job is to make a throw under pressure. He damn near won the Heisman because he was able to evade pressure and complete it at what was it, 65%, I think you said, or whatever it is. Like that's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
no, Michael Penix, you mean?
Yeah.
Michael Penix completed, I think, 53% of his passes last night.
No. I mean, on the season, this guy made a name for himself.
66%.
Like, he was mid 60s. So that's what I'm saying.
76% against Texas.
So with all due respect, yeah, Michigan did their thing. Best team in the country. Great. Awesome. Washington didn't show up last night. And that's why I say, I don't know if it's a head game. I don't know what. Maybe intimidated is the right word, man.
They got physically beaten.
But I'm just saying it's not as though, Washington didn't play anybody physical. Like, you played some physical teams. I guess you just weren't ready. I guess you didn't believe that you could beat them.
No, I think what happens, and this is just my opinion, what happened last night is that's the most physical team that Washington saw. There is no doubt they got their ass kicked physically. Like, that offensive line. And the best part of it is, again, I think Michigan only had one sack. I think they recorded one sack. One sack. They did it they were in his head. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that you look at a guy like Jalen Polk looked as frustrated as I have seen him. By the way, he announced he's going to the NFL today. But there's no way to spin the fact that Michael Penix was shook.
Yeah, and that's what I want to talk about. You can, like, I'm not going to sit here and spend a bunch of time talking about Michigan doing what they've done all year. Like, that's the part that bothers me so much. This is what they've done. It's not new. Like, I didn't see anything. Dude, the Michigan, just so we're clear, the Michigan secondary can be had. They
Absolutely
were vulnerable. They got behind that defense multiple times last night. Couldn't complete a pass. Like, he overthrew guys by like 10 yards last night multiple times. So forgive me for sitting here saying, yeah, great defensive line. Michael Penix Jr. should be criticized for this game last night. It's inexcusable when you're playing for a national championship to perform in that way. You deviated from what you've done all year. I look at last night's game, and I'm saying he cost his own team 3 touchdowns last night. There were 3 throws where they were behind the defense, and that's a pass they complete at a relatively high percentage in the big picture. I would even go as far as to say a pass that I would expect them to complete.
And I think the bottom line was, and I mean, this is, I think, why Michael Penix talked so much about how physically beaten up he was. After the game last night, he talked about that they wanted to take him out of the game. He talked about how I was not going to let them take me out of the game. I wanted to finish the game with my guys. That's how, like, So for everybody saying, oh, what, like I think Jim was going on about what pressure. What pressure? The guy says his coaching staff wanted to take him out of the game. What pressure? The guy got hit all night.
This is not up for discussion that he took a beating last night. Like,
it's not.
And I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Like, we disagree a little bit on like what happened in this game and what was the bigger factor, but that doesn't mean we disagree on the big picture, right? We're both saying, hey, Michigan was physical last night. Hey, that defensive line did what they always do. Hey, they ran the football just like we knew they were going to. So we largely agree on what happened in this game. But what I am so both surprised and incredibly disappointed about is the fact that your formula for success at Washington completely let you down last night. And if you said to me, Michael Penix Jr. is going to come into this ball game and whatever you want to call it, intimidated, just didn't show up, in my opinion, whatever you want to say, that's the worst part about it. So I'm not going to sit here and sing the song and praise of Michigan and be like, yeah, they were just so much better last night. Yes, they were better last night. But I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, Washington had no way to win that game. They had chances, they missed, and that's on them, not on Michigan.
I don't think it's a question of did they have a chance to win the game.
Multiple opportunities. They had 21 points in the first half on the tip of his finger, and they missed. And that's on them. That is absolutely on them.
Yeah. Let's get your comments in here. It's Giving Tuesday. By the way, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch today because last night, in the wee hours of the evening, we passed 50,000 subscribers here on the Monty program. The two hacks on YouTube have 50,000 subscribers. So we told you that when we pass 50,000 subscribers, we would give you a gaming console. We've given away Xboxes, PS5s. So now we're going to give away a Nintendo Switch. And all you have to do to win the Nintendo Switch is show us that you're bucked up. We already have an early entry that I think is very strong here on the Monty Show. So interact with Bucked Up. Go into, Maverick in Salt Lake City, which is what our guy, the official ambassador of the Monty Show, did. Travis Bird, Big Daddy Magic, went into Maverick in Salt Lake today, and here's his performance.
2 Bucked Up and some beer. The beautiful Sheila buying it for me. You ever had one of these Bucked Up?
I drank one today. As
oh man, they're the best things in the world.
Especially if you want to wake up.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I drank. Okay, you're looking at 49.16. I was gonna back those up. Oh yeah, I forgot that. So I drank 2 Monsters and I couldn't still wake up.
Bucked Up's the best.
So I drank the Bucked Up.
It's the official drink of the Monty Show, and you should try E-Trade.
Okay.
30-day membership for only $10. Yeah. I will buy you the membership.
No, I got the membership.
All right.
Hey man, E-Trade,
E-Trade,
TriDayTrading.com. It's all the same. It's all the same thing.
The way.
How about my guy, Big Daddy Magic, going into Maverick gas station, one of the best convenience stores in the country, buying himself, because I always tell you, I espouse on this show, Bucked Up Miami. It's what I drink every day. It's the best in the busy. I tell you that all the time. How about Big Daddy Magic going into Maverick gas station and hooking it up with a couple of cans of Bucked Up Miami?
Stay hard.
The guy gets it. He's in the lead now to win the Nintendo Switch. And I think it's going to be tough to beat him, because how do you beat him going into, unless you pull off an Aaron Wilson and you run into Walmart and you're like, get out of my way, dude. You guys remember that? You remember that legendary video? Wow.
Wow, bro. Wow.
Hey, it happens. Excuse me. Good Lord. But it's going to be tough to beat him. All you have to do is show us you're bucked up. Now, I would tell you, we'll take your pictures. Happy to tag Jake on Twitter or Instagram, SLC Jake, SLC Jake on Twitter or Instagram, and just send us a picture that shows you're bucked up.
Now, that's not going to win you anything, but I would love to see it.
I mean, that's
need
cool.
To enter a video to win the damn thing. And by the way, I don't want to hear anybody asking like, "Oh, hey man, can you play the Switch on a TV or is it just a PlayStation Portable or what is it, man?" No, dude, you can play it on the TV. Absolutely, it's awesome. By the way, if you're a Mario Kart fanatic, you might want to get in on this because Mario Kart on the Switch is badass.
It is amazing. I'm a Mario Kart guy. I am a Mario Kart guy. So that's all you have to do. Now, you want to go and order Bucked Up at BuckedUp.com. You should absolutely do that. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off. You want to go into Maverick, HEB, Hello, Texas, officially now. Our largest audience, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, is our largest audience on the show. Hello, HEB. Hello, Texas. Good to see you guys. Bucked Up is at HEB. Bucked Up is at Walmart. Bucked Up is at Maverick. Bucked Up is at Circle K or 7-Eleven. Hello, Los Angeles. Good to see LA is a massive market on the show now. Good to see you, Los Angeles. You guys, Bucked Up, Giving Tuesday. Show us your Bucked Up. 2 hours from right now, we are going to give away a Nintendo Switch. That's simple. Pretty straightforward, man.
Now, let's see how pissed off we can get going in the comments section.
Dude, you're kind of being a red ass today.
I'm not being a red ass today, dude.
So I'm the red ass.
You want to die on the hill of Michigan's the greatest team ever this year, and that's fine. And they are. They won the national championship.
I didn't say Michigan's the greatest team ever this year.
You said they're the best football team this year. That's what you said.
I said Michigan is the best college football team in the country. And their kids deserve a lot of credit for not folding. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I did not feel at any point in time last night that Washington was in danger of winning this game. I didn't, and you cannot win. If you're Washington, you don't win unless Michael Penix is there, and he was not there. He was not there. I don't believe they were ever in a position to win the game.
Incredible. And we've seen this multiple times. And I guess it just surprises me. Like, it's very rare. Like, if Michigan had just come out and, like, if this had been like a 38-3 game, okay, cool. They're just so much better than you. You never had a chance. Why'd you even get off the bus type thing? Okay. But that's not what this was last night. This was, hey, man, Michael Penix Jr. is out here not doing what Michael Penix Jr. usually does. And I was sitting here watching this game, literally from front to back, every single snap, sitting here saying, okay, they're going to have to score early in the game, right? You know, if you're Washington, you got to get in the end zone early in this game to have a chance. And I just couldn't believe for the life of me that you didn't make there. And it wasn't just the Odunze throw. There were like a couple of throws, like, and they weren't scoring type plays, but just a couple of throws where I was like, man, like where are these guys at tonight? Like, whether it's receivers or Penix, like Washington just was not who I thought they were. They were not the same team when they played Oregon at Oregon's place. You were not that team last night. And I just was really disappointed by that.
Brian Laguerre, what's up, Brian? Gives us $5. Monty, you kept it real. I respect that this other guy hey, Jake, nice to meet you, Jake.
Yeah, my name's Jake.
So you just don't motherfucker over here, man. I respect that this other guy can't admit how great that defense is. Big Penix energy was getting harassed all night.
How is the defense that great when they're behind him 6 plays into the game? I'm just asking a question.
The defense, let's tell the truth about Michigan's defense. And I think we talked about this last night too. Their secondary was going to get exposed last night. This is the best
exposed.
This was the best wide receiver core they faced, and they got exposed. But how did they get exposed when Michael Penix couldn't deliver the football? And why couldn't he deliver the football? The linebackers and the defensive line, the scheme, I think the disguise, I think the offensive line at Washington was incredibly disappointing. Multiple holding penalties last night that absolutely crippled drives. I don't even want to talk
about the officiating in that game last night.
Well, it was ACC officials.
That's it. And I'm not going to do the whole, oh, well, if they got those calls, Washington wins the game, because that's not the case. That's definitely not the case. But everybody on X was like, "Oh man, how many times is Michigan gonna get away with holding in this game?" And I agree. Whether the refs missed it or whatever, I don't know. That
a lot of holding.
Michigan was holding their ass off last night, and that's fine.
But 5 penalties for 30 yards for Washington, and 2 on the offensive line at just the worst of times.
So
worst of times.
When whoever the hell this is commenting wants to say this guy over here, I'm not going to say that Michigan's
this guy
defense
over
was
here
amazing. Their defensive line was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Their defensive line is the only reason that Washington didn't put up 30 in this game. And it's shocking. Again, I'll keep saying it. It's shocking. It is unfathomable that Michael Penix Jr. with a full allotment of time to prepare is not prepared to come into this game and perform. How are you, as DeBoer, sitting here and your quarterback is not ready to handle the pressure?
But Jake, he was hurt and they wanted to take him out, but he would never let them take him out. He was finishing this game with his guys.
As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter. If you're on the field, you need to perform.
And Mike Sainristil, I think, was the best player in the game. I mean, the outside of the interception, I mean, the guy was all over the field for Michigan. I thought he played a hell of a game. And I still maintain that Mason Graham should be a top half of the first round pick. I think I agree. Mel Kiper this morning talked about that Michael Penix Jr. is probably the second quarterback, potentially as late as third quarterback off the board. I don't think this hurts his draft stock at all. I think he did not play well last night. I think Caleb Williams goes first. I think Drake May goes second, and I think Big Penix Energy goes third.
Yeah.
The sad thing is now he's going to have to prove he can perform in big games. I think that's the thing. Charlie Sinclair for $5. The Spanoses can't screw around. Get the Harbaugh deal done and don't look back. Keep up the great work, guys. Charlie, appreciate you. And I will tell you that there is new details on Jim Harbaugh and the LA Chargers. As I asked about this morning, you just did like the
you threw up the sign and stuff.
Right? Social media.
As I asked about this morning on Twitter, Jim Harbaugh's agent, I think this is why you hire a guy like Don Yee, who Jim Harbaugh is now represented by, one of the most powerful coaching agents in the NFL. Don Yee allegedly is telling teams, hey, we need to work out the financial parameters of a deal before Jim will come and interview with you. And I think it's the exact right way to go about this. Because if you're Jim Harbaugh, you're not going to take 100 interviews. Jim Harbaugh found out the hard way the last couple of years. When you go and take 2-3 interviews a year, you're not getting anybody's job. And I think Jim Harbaugh, this is his last best opportunity to get one of the premier jobs in the NFL. And I think that the LA Chargers, who should be in San Diego, with Justin Herbert as their quarterback, they are the best fit. And I have told you for a week now that the LA Chargers are going to be very aggressive. They are talking to Don Yee, who is the agent for Jim Harbaugh, and they are working towards a deal. They are also interviewing other candidates to check off their boxes and make sure that they are covered. But make no mistake about it, Jim Harbaugh is their first and last candidate in Los Angeles for the Charger job. And I think, Jake, if he wants it, he can have it.
Yeah, and I think that's how they should be treating it. I mean, the Chargers, as you've said all along, need someone who can develop a quarterback. And as good as Justin Herbert is, and he is one of the best, I still think that there's opportunity for him to grow as a quarterback. And that's kind of a scary proposition if you're the rest of the league, because this is somebody who is more than capable of throwing for 5,000 yards, provided he's got, proper weaponry around him. So to me, I think if I'm Jim, like, I don't know. I was kind of in the camp that, after this game was over last night, Jim would have been on his private jet, kind of like we talked about. But Jim likes to play the game. He's doing that post-game interview, talking about pushing spring practice back till March, I think he said, or whatever. Like, I don't know what Jim's going to do. But what I do know is that Jim is not someone who wants to sit on his couch for a year and not be able to coach a football game. You just won a national championship in college football. I think the guy wants to continue to be on the sidelines. So I would be a little surprised if he didn't go to the league, just all things considered with the NCAA discipline. But we'll see. But yeah, I think he's a phenomenal fit with the Chargers. The only question is how long until that thing burns to the ground, because inevitably it will. We know, again, we know who Jim is. And it's what I said about Michigan 5 minutes ago. Jim is not trying to hide who Jim is. Jim wants you to be damn sure that you know who Jim Harbaugh is,
right.
which is a great quarterback developer, kind of an asshole with your personnel around the building. And that's just how he does business. So can you make it last 3 years? If you can make it last 3 years, I think it's a worthwhile investment.
Yeah, I think Jim has to mature a little bit as well. I think some of the antics, I think some of the brash attitude, I think that's going to get worse now because he just won a national championship at Michigan.
Yeah, what are you going to say to Jim Harbaugh?
But very clearly, he's looking for an escape hatch.
Mm-hmm.
That is, now here's where all of the asterisks and, hey, you cheating F and all that comes in. If you're Jim Harbaugh, I don't believe you can go back to Michigan. You are, in my opinion, and from sources we've talked to about Jim Harbaugh, I believe he's looking at a full year suspension if he stays at Michigan. And I think that is something that he's just not willing to absorb. I think Jim Harbaugh is a hell of a competitor. I think the idea that Jim Harbaugh would sit out an entire year under an NCAA suspension is unfathomable to him. I think that would just be, I mean, you think about how difficult it'd be for Jim Harbaugh not to compete for an entire season. I think that'd be incredibly difficult. And I think that's why Jim Harbaugh hired one of the best NFL agents in the business. I think that's why Jim Harbaugh is going to interview. And I think he takes one interview. I'd really be surprised if Jim Harbaugh bumps around the country. And let's say now that, he'll interview in LA, but then is he going to fly to Tennessee to interview with the Titans and then maybe to Las Vegas to interview with the Raiders and then to Chicago? And I don't see that. That's how this is playing out. I am told that Jim Harbaugh wants to coach an elite quarterback and a team with a foundation. The LA Chargers certainly have a foundation with Justin Herbert. You have veteran wide receivers there. You do have to get better in the backfield. You do have to get better at the skill positions, but he's got a defense. I think he would take Minter with him. I think that they have a lot of pieces, and he's a coach that showed us in San Francisco he can immediately turn around a program in the NFL. I think that would be the expectation in LA, and I think that's why that job is so attractive. I don't think he's a fit in Tennessee. I don't think he's a fit if they make a change in New England. I just don't see it that way. In my opinion, Jim Harbaugh, and potentially, if all things remain equal, and I mean, the Raiders, they're interviewing other coaches. There's no question about that. Is Jim Harbaugh a candidate for the Vegas job? You don't have a quarterback. You have a really dominant wide receiver there, but you don't have the foundational pieces to turn a franchise around right away. They had that in San Francisco. They have that in Los Angeles. You don't have that in Chicago. And again, I was told today that Matt Eberflus is very much up in the air. They started their meetings with him today. I would not be surprised if today or tomorrow, same thing with Belichick in New England. I would not be surprised if today or tomorrow we get resolution on those two situations. Sure. If the Chicago Bears job opens, is Jim Harbaugh a candidate? He would be, but you know what the problem there is? I think Jim Harbaugh is a far better fit with the Chargers than he is with the Bears because of what the Chargers have. And it may well be that the Chicago Bears want Jim Harbaugh, but does Jim Harbaugh want that job over the LA Charger job? My feeling is he'd rather have the Charger job because of what's there, which makes a ton of sense to me. So I find it very difficult in my mind to see Jim Harbaugh passing on the Charger gig.
Absolutely.
I think
100%.
that's the one he wants. And frankly, where he's at, you're coming off of winning a national championship. I'm going to find it hard to believe that he's not going to have the pick of the cream of the crop of those jobs.
Yeah, and that's why I say, I think your point about the antics and kind of how Jim operates, I do agree. It probably does get a little worse. I mean, you just won a national championship. What are you going to say to Jim Harbaugh? And frankly, if you are the Chargers, I think you like what you see in Jim Harbaugh. I think one of Brandon Staley's biggest problems is he wasn't enough of a personality. He didn't control the narrative in San Diego, for the LA Chargers. You just, as a head coach in California, you have to have a personality. You have to define the direction of the franchise. And I think Jim, while he will do that, also comes with some baggage. So, yeah, I think Jim would take that job, and I think the Chargers would love to have him, which is why I say that deal probably gets done, in my opinion. But it remains to be seen. Jim is too much of a competitor. I just don't think the guy is going to want to sit on his couch for a year wearing his Michigan gear,
I agree.
watching, Moore run the team.
Yeah, and I think the humiliation of being suspended for, I'd have to think he takes an 8-game rip. I have to think that he gets 8 games to a full season. I think we've never seen that before.
Mm-mm.
And I think if that indeed is the case, I think this is why Pete Carroll wound up with Seattle. I think this is why Jim Harbaugh is going to wind up with the Los Angeles Chargers. And I think it's the right move. I mean, at Michigan, you have positively, you have the right replacement in-house in Sharon Moore, who I think did a great job. And I do believe that Sharon Moore is the guy. That dude deserves a hell of a lot of credit for the composure that offense saw. You lost your best offensive lineman and didn't miss a beat. Ran for 300 yards last night. I think Sharon Moore deserves a hell of a lot of credit.
Yeah.
And I think he would be the head coach in waiting. If he's not that now, he would be, based on what Harbaugh is going to do this offseason. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. Big Blue Horses, UW was unprepared, too many mistakes, not up to the game. Dude, I don't disagree with that at all. I think that unprepared is a strong word. Kalen DeBoer is a hell of a coach. And I think your biggest concern is he your coach next year, which I think he will be. But I think they were not. Did they show enough understanding of how dominant that defensive front at Michigan was? I don't think they did. I truly don't think they did. They clearly were not prepared for the free Harbaugh run wrinkle that we saw in the second half. I mean, that kid running down the field absolutely ended that game, in my opinion. When he started breaking you off for first downs, dude, that was crushing. That was absolutely crushing. Cougar Tracks for $2. Is it true Michigan passed out BuckedUp to the team? It is true. And it was the absolute advantage that I think most people recognize put Michigan over the top. When you get bucked up, you're going to win championships.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, who doesn't play football saying Penix needed to hit throws, getting hit and harassed all night is a joke? You sound like you don't know ball. So wait,
what is he saying?
Guy who doesn't play football saying Penix needed to hit throws, getting hit and harassed all night is a joke. You sound like you don't know football. Well, but he did need to make throws.
It's his whole job to make the damn throw.
If you didn't understand that you were going to get hit coming into this game, I don't know what you were preparing for.
What tape were you watching?
I think the biggest issue was the throws that he missed. It's not like he was under a pile of 10 dudes afterward. Sure, he got hit after he let the ball go several times. He missed open throws without pressure because he had one eye on the defensive line. The chasing goes, hearing footsteps. You can say what you want to say. But the thing that I think is very clear is that Michael Penix was not prepared for the heat that he faced. He very clearly was running from that Michigan defensive line, whether they were there or not. And I get it. That's why I asked the question, did they have enough respect for what Michigan was up front?
No, clearly not. Clearly not.
Well, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I think that whatever that play was where he got hit early and it hurt, hey, man, he never got away from that, in my opinion. He never got away from that, in my opinion. All right, let's get some of your thoughts in here. I appreciate you guys sitting through us bloviating. KC the boss, get off the mic. Cheeseburger, LOL. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean. Mike Smith. They were not prepared for Edwards' 2 big runs. Oh, my God. That's the facts. And that just hurt when you're down 14-0 and you just got broke off on your biggest weakness, which I think we all agreed was Washington's inability to stop the run. And then he breaks you off not once, but twice. Man. After that, it was catch up all night. Also, do not know why they let Dillon stay at starting running back. Dude, that looked painful. That looked painful. And you feel terrible for a kid like that because he'd worked so hard and had such a great season. To get here and then to be injured just sucks. And then on the first carry of the night, they all jumped on his legs. It is what it is, right?
Mhm.
I mean, and he limped all night long after that. All night long after that. You know, like it's wild to me. Main event, Harbaugh doesn't want the smoke from Andy Reid in the AFC West. Oh, I don't think he cares. I think if you're Jim Harbaugh, you believe you're the best coach in football. And he might be right. I don't think he fears any other coach. I don't think he's like, boy, I can't go to the AFC West. There's too much heat from Andy Reid.
Mhm.
That's not even in his mind. That's not even in his mind. TH, Monty, the defense of Michigan is what they are built on. That D is losing a ton. Oh, they're going to have to restock. But they had a really good recruiting class. So let's not even play with that. I mean, they had a really good recruiting class. Doug Snyder, screw the NCAA. The entire university is ready to challenge any BS the NCAA comes down with. BS. You guys cheated. You got caught red-handed cheating. What BS? You self-admitted level 1 and level 2 violations.
It's a simple question. If there's so much BS, why did you dip out of your court date? Simple question.
That I don't understand. What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. It is what it is. Adam Salamini, Zinter was their best O lineman, got hurt, didn't lose a step. Not even not a step. It's amazing. Boyd Lake, how are you, SEO King of America? Washington LB's linebackers over pursued and were out of position all night, but that's their run defense has been so porous all season long. I mean, I think that the instability at the safety and the rotation in their secondary really hurt their run defense.
That's what I'm saying. This was never about free Harbaugh versus Washington's defense.
No.
This was never about Corum versus that defense. You knew that Michigan was probably going to have their way with your defense. This was all about the whole time before you even showed up. This was all about Penix and those wide receivers,
yes,
getting it done or not getting it done. It's that simple. So whether, guys like Edwards had a standout game or not, to me was like, yeah, it was important because he scored, but that was rather inconsequential when I look at, hey, just how poor you played on offense.
That I agree with. Like it's wild to me. Yeah.
The great defense of Michigan should have been an incentive for Michael Penix, not a wow. Like I wasn't quite, because I agree. There's no way around the idea that he wasn't quite ready for the heat that he was
shook.
Receiving.
He looked shook all night.
But here's my thing: we can't just lose sight of who Michael Penix was heading into this game, right? Like Heisman Trophy contender, by some accounts the best quarterback in college football, like somebody who ESPN had an endless reel of him shaking Texas defensive linemen in the pocket, then to throw it 50 yards down the field for a completion. Like, where was that last night? Where was that confidence and that bravado? That's what I don't understand.
I think I still don't see, even if he hits that throw in the first quarter, I just think Michigan was so freely running the football. I mean,
maybe they don't win the game.
Vacuum
but it's not nearly as dominant.
Vacuum salesman ran for 125 yards, and Donovan had the 2 touchdowns. And I agree. Maybe they don't win the game, but it's a lot closer. It's a 3-point game.
Yeah,
but you got your ass kicked. That's what's tough for Dub fans today, is that you got your ass kicked. You feel you're disgusted by the performance, and it sucks because it's been so long. And now it feels like it's going to be forever going into the Big Ten.
And by the way, great season Pac-12. We'll see you later. That's the other unfortunate part about this.
Yeah. Last Pac-12 football representation. It is to me, it's really unfortunate. Again, I think this was a great season for the Pac-12. I think it was a really good year. I think it was arguably the best season in the history of the Pac-12. Oregon was very good. Washington, obviously undefeated. I mean, you saw great growth out of Oregon State, great growth out of Arizona, and it all just came apart. And it's really unfortunate. I mean, it is the Fighting Fafitas and that story, and it's just really unfortunate that this is how it ends. And this is instead of winning a championship and beating the ultimate villain, you got boat raced last night. You just got beaten down badly. And I think it's one of those things where you have to now deal with that.
Yeah, and it's really frustrating. I'll be honest. It's frustrating to sit there and watch this game and be like, damn, dude, like going into the game, I was like, we may get an all-timer here. We've got a great defense, great defensive line, secondary is good enough, and we've got a ball-out type offense. We've got an offense that's got dudes that can run by their defender, like not really prowess to run the ball, but still, like, it's college football. Like, you can usually get it done through the air. Like, we may get an all-time game here. And to have a situation where you're just swinging and missing constantly early in the game, I was just like, yeah, it's going to be that kind of game. Like, as soon as you had 3 points and we're like working on halftime, like, okay, we get it, dude. You guys were not ready.
Yeah, I don't mind saying it, and I'll continue to say it out loud. I just think Michigan was the best team in the country this year. Cheating scandal aside, I give those kids a lot of credit for going out the last 5 weeks when you could easily have folded and made excuses and lost games, and who would have blamed you? And it would have been, see, we told you so, but they didn't fall into that. And I think that takes a lot of character. Monty, what recruiting class for UM are you talking about? They are reloading. Well, what did they have? The 14th ranked class in Michigan, especially in the Harbaugh era. I think Michigan has always been that school that'll take a 3-star and he'll perform like a 5-star. You don't need, I think this team's the quintessential example of, hey, the quarterback isn't a game changer, but you've got multiple running backs who can beat you. You've got one talented wide receiver and dominant line play. And I think, again, the rule of law here is dominate the offensive and defensive line, and you're going to win. The offensive line, is there anybody who doubts the offensive line at Michigan is back? Is there anybody who doubts that the defensive line at Michigan is as stout as any in the country? Because I don't. And I think growing up in the Midwest, being a Notre Dame fan and watching Notre Dame and Michigan go head-to-head, I've always known Michigan to have great offensive lines. And I would say for the past 8-10 years, they did not have that. This year, absolutely, I think the best line play in the country. Again, I'll just say it, the best line play in the country. You outclassed Alabama. You outclassed Washington, who had this awesome offensive line until they didn't. They don't need 5 stars all over the place. I want to say there's a stat that Michigan has one of the lowest rated recruiting composites for a national champion. And they're just fine. And Harbaugh talked about this. They're just fine because everybody says, oh, disappointing this. And he takes 3 stars. And this is why the Chargers should want him. He takes 3 stars and they perform like 5 stars. So he doesn't need a bunch of 5-star guys. He doesn't. Robert Fowler, congrats on 50,000. You and Jake are the best, and it isn't close. I appreciate you. Thank you. They are not even number 1 in the big. They are 4th, and yet they won the national championship. One of the things that I think we have to stop doing, and I wonder how much this will change now with the portal, we have to stop putting ratings on kids and saying, well, this kid's a 3-star recruit, and this kid's because it's very rarely the kid that's going to determine his success or failure in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Where does he go? What system does he get into? And how do they use him? That's what's going to determine. Like, you look up at Utah. Kyle Whittingham has turned more dudes from quarterback to safety, or from corner to safety, or running back to safety, or it's all in finding the highest, best use for a kid. 3-star, 5-star, 1-star, I don't care. And guys like Jim Harbaugh, and again, we consider and talk about him being a cheater, level 1 violations, all that great stuff. It's all true in my opinion. But what is absolutely true, and you can't argue with, he's an incredible developer of talent. You don't have to like him, but he's an incredible developer of talent. So, gaming history source. I didn't see Penix take a shot that warranted holding his side. Oh, dude.
Oh, no, he took some shots, dude. Yeah, he took some shots.
Bro, there was that one in the fourth quarter, and you could see it after that last interception when he was walking off, and the way he walked off the field. Come on now. The one in the fourth quarter where he just got crushed. And this is why I didn't understand that design run call for him. Because I think he got hit pretty hard on that design run. Because, again, great offensive line play. We missed the block. And it allowed a safety to just take him out at the hip. I am never going to be a guy who's like, yeah, let's run our quarterback against Michigan's downhill defense.
You mean let's run our only way to win the ball game?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. This is crazy. He was putting on a show to cover his own failure. He was not faking injury. There's a lot you can say about Michael Penix. You go back to the Oregon games, the shot he took against Utah, like some of the hits he took this year, and he just got up every time and delivered the football. Michael Penix is not a kid that fakes injury. Let's not do that. Wasakowski from Plymouth Canton. It was inevitable the Big Ten was going to swallow up the Pac-12 eventually. You're going to have to explain that a little bit. Mike Smith. Yes, he was faking his pain. Dude, WTF. No, right?
I just think it's
what are we
such
talking
a dumb
about?
take. Like, it's clear he was in pain.
Weird there was no sighting of Michigan's number one son, Tom Brady, because Jim Harbaugh and Tom Brady don't have a great relationship, according to some. So, and Tommy's been pretty quiet. Conundrum says, Jake, you're frustrated.
I mean, yeah, I think on a couple of levels. I think, one, we got robbed of a great game. I think this game had so much more potential than we saw last night, honestly. Like, I really do. I really believe that. I think if Washington had come just more prepared, more ready to play, I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, so we're going to get the offensive line and there's always going to be a back in the backfield because that defensive line's coming. How are you not having a back in pass pro?
Right.
How are you not having extra protection there to allow Michael Penix just that extra half tick or, quarter second to get the ball out? And so I knew right away when they went spread offense, I was like, you guys don't get it. You just don't understand who you're playing. Because if you did understand who you were playing, you would have utilized the tight end. You would have had him chip, and then you would have had him run an 8-yard curl route, and you'd have hit him, and you'd have been 2nd and 2 or 3rd and 1 most of the night. But you weren't doing that.
Yeah, they waited too long. I agree with that 100%.
I just so I'm frustrated on the level that I feel like Washington had a bad game plan and was not prepared to play in that game. And we obviously saw that play out the way it did. So, yeah, I'm frustrated we got robbed of a great game. I am frustrated that Jim Harbaugh won a national championship. I think, yeah, I'm one of the people
I'd say frustrated. I'd say disappointed.
Okay, disappointed. I don't like that the guy who's been caught red-handed cheating won a national championship. I'm not saying that you didn't win those games at the end of the year fair and square. I agree. After it came out, there's no excuse. There's no, oh, well, they were cheating. You can't say that. It's public. Everyone knows it now. It is what it is. But I just, in terms of college football and where the game is going, where the playoff is going, certainly, I just don't love the way that went down. And I would have been fine. Anybody else, Alabama, Georgia, hell, even if it was Dabo, I would have been fine with it. Great, cool. I don't even like Dabo, but it just, because it was Jim and because of the way he operates, and it's not just at Michigan, the Kaepernick situation, the way he left Stanford, if you've been following this guy, the way he operates. So
he tends to leave dumpster fires behind.
And so I'm almost in a place where I just want to say, Jim, go to the NFL. Go. You almost owe it to your university to not do them any more harm. Don't put them in a further worse position by staying. Go to the league. Let them handle it. That's that. So yeah, it's a little frustrating last night to be yeah, man, wow. Washington, nice game plan. Really glad you were prepared to go
I'll
out and win a
also
ball game.
say it's amazing how many faux Michigan fans came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about all these people who are like, oh, yeah, well, I lived there 10 years ago, so I'm a fan. But all of a sudden, Michigan's good, and I lived there when I was like 1 year old, so I'm a Michigan fan.
There was a lot of that
outta
last
here with
night.
that, dude.
And also, I think it's hysterical that Jim Harbaugh's like, oh, we're innocent. We're innocent. You're not innocent.
And you know what's funny about that? When I heard him say that, I was like, why are you even talking about it?
If you're innocent,
why are you talking about it?
Why did you take a 3-game suspension to start the season? If you're innocent people don't admit guilt. Why did you pull your court case and take a 3-game suspension at the end of the year if you're innocent?
Yeah.
Why did you miss half your team's game to self-suspension if you're innocent? Why did the Committee on Infractions say, hey, yeah, we're going to not take your 3-game suspension and call that good? Why? Why was the FBI on campus? Why did you fire Connor Like, come on. Like, there's a lot, and I'm kind of with you. I'm not happy for Jim Harbaugh.
No.
I'm not. I feel like Jim Harbaugh, I think he is what's wrong with college sports. And I don't think there's any doubt this is why all of a sudden he's got all this courage to talk about paying athletes, because he's not going to be there. He doesn't have to worry about it.
And I also think as someone who does a show, like, I love how the Paul Feinbaums of the world and like all these media members feel the need to come out and say, Michigan is the one and I was wrong and everything's amazing at Michigan. It's okay to say, hey, Michigan was the better team last night. You won a national championship. Great job. Here's your golden sticker. Awesome. That doesn't change what you did this season. That doesn't change how I look at Jim Harbaugh. And frankly, it doesn't change how I look at guys who have participated in that program the last couple of seasons. You think Aiden Hutchinson wasn't reaping the benefits of what they did? Do you think that there it's not just about this year? And that's what I think people forget. So I am not like, oh man, Michigan won, I hate Michigan. It's not really even about Michigan. I actually love the Michigan hockey program. Now, that's a soft program. They're a skill-based program, but I still love what they do on YouTube and Instagram. It's a great program.
And I think it's hard not to respect what the University of Michigan is.
There's heritage.
The hard part is they're pandering to Jim Harbaugh.
Yes.
Offering him after and you've admitted to all of the things he's done. Offering him the largest contract.
Got your boy in pictures on the sideline at Central Michigan.
But it's not even
Anyone want to talk about that?
It's the accumulation. People get stuck on the sign stealing thing, and I get that. Do you guys understand that the COVID recruiting violations are not done yet?
The coronavirus.
He's not been punished for that. And he got a notice of infractions on those level 1 and level 2 violations. They haven't even given him or Michigan a notice of infractions on the sign stealing thing. We don't know what the FBI was looking at.
Or has.
We haven't even begun. So this idea that you're innocent when you self-admitted the things that you have done, it's not innocence. Anyway, Boss Frog, good afternoon to you. UM may have a great recruiting year, but if that staff leaves, so do the kids. And I think that's why it is so critically important that Sharon Moore stay on. And this year is not even Jim Harbaugh's best recruiting class. It's certainly not his worst. He's never been the number 1 recruiting guy in the country because he is a big believer in developing talent.
How did the cheating thing come up? Oh, that's right. You're not a recruiter, Jim. So you started winning ball games. How you doing that?
Yeah, and that's a really excellent point. Maybe it's not that. That could absolutely be.
So when you say, hey, I'm frustrated, yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating that the guy at the center of controversy all year is the one who won a national championship. It's embarrassing, in my opinion. Now, it's harsh, but it's my opinion, and I'll stick to it. It's embarrassing what we got out of Washington last night. Unacceptable when you knew that's who you were playing. You watched the college football playoff semifinal. Don't tell me you weren't ready.
And to Kirk Herbstreit's point, this is exactly who Michigan's been all year.
Yeah.
They didn't run anything new. They didn't run any disguise. Free Harbaugh turned around and handed the football off, and they kicked your ass.
Yeah.
Defensively, they didn't sack the quarterback but once, and they still kicked your ass up front. They ran downhill with their corners and safeties, ran downhill on you. And the one thing that we talked about yesterday, and I think we've said all year, is they're a very difficult defense to block. Their secondary is very difficult to block. We saw that last night. There's nothing that Kalen DeBoer got last night that he shouldn't have expected. And that's the part that's disappointing.
You still didn't perform.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And to Boss Frog's point, I think that's why Sharon Moore has to stay. Because I think where Harbaugh goes, Jesse Minter goes. I have no doubt about that. Lamont Tucker. Oh, it's a good day for Lamont Tucker.
What's up, Lamont?
Hey, Monty and Jake. And he gives us 20 Monty Show membership. Let's go.
Appreciate that, dude.
Well done. Appreciate that. There it is. Like, I was going to say, did we make a change and nobody told me about it?
No, sorry, my bad.
Let's see. Lonnie Johansson said, "Hi, guys. How are you doing today for $20? Doing great, Lonnie.
Yeah, doing fine. I mean, I just
Giving Tuesday. Like, how bad can it be?
Like, it's not that, like, the world has ended.
Yeah.
Great. Michigan won a national championship. Awesome. Like, that's great. Like, cool. Yeah. Celebrate. But I don't think we're talking enough about how damaging this is to the sport. We're just not. And Michigan fan is going to tell you, oh, well, we're innocent. Okay, set them aside, right? Like, set biased Michigan fan aside and have an actual conversation about what's just gone down, what we've just witnessed.
Absolutely.
We just witnessed Jim Harbaugh and company perpetrate, quote unquote, a cheating scandal against the sport. Like, I get it. It's funny, but it's not funny.
Perpetrate's
to me,
a great word.
It's not funny to me when dude's out here running a cheating scandal. And I do give a damn that we have your boy on the sideline in Central Michigan in pictures in there.
Isn't it funny, though, how we never got an answer on that?
Oh, we're going to get an answer on that. I guarantee you there will be some clarity that comes out at some point about what went on there, but not this year. And that's the other part that's frustrating, right? So it almost has nothing to do with the game itself. I'm not frustrated you won a national championship. I'm frustrated that the NCAA continues to stand by and watch this stuff go down.
Yeah, I do think the one change we'll get out of this is that you will see a change to the disciplinary process because it just takes far too long. Darren Ingram, look at that.
What's up, D?
Look at that. Darren Ingram Golf. He's on the show.
What's up, baby?
My guy, my golf coach. Our director of golf up at Canyons Resort in Park City. Good to see you, Darren. Penix was terrible. He had enough time to deliver. It was just always high and behind.
Facts.
To Jake's point.
Facts.
I think pressure does weird things to people. Big games do bad things to people who aren't prepared mentally for it.
Do you agree that if I had said to you, if my take yesterday before the game was Michael Penix is going to crack under pressure, he's not going to perform tonight, you guys would have thought that I was an idiot, which you already probably do. But you'd have thought, like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, what do you mean? This is Michael Penix. He's going to have a great night. He's going to be the reason they're even in this game. So the idea that he was the reason they were out of the game is just insane to me.
And how about Michigan having their sports psychologist on the sideline last night? When Free Harbaugh, J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback for Michigan, when Harbaugh had that tough stretch and came off the field, who walked right up to him? The sports psychologist. And they had a conversation. And
I think that's brilliant.
I think it's brilliant too.
That's one where I'm like, hey, that's next level stuff. You understand who JJ is. You understand what your guy needs to be successful. Give it to him. He was successful.
Yeah. Boyd Lake, when you have a rib injury, it's painful, but that's not the worst. You can't freaking breathe. That is devastating. Oh, are we saying that Penix had a rib injury? I don't know. Whatever it was, he was holding his left hip area, and that looked not fun. Or right hip, I guess it would have been. That looked not fun. Cougar Tracks. Michigan dictated how the game went. Absolutely. Sean Rollins says Mike Wizakowski.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wizowski. Okay. Conundrum. Maybe disappointed is more appropriate than frustrated. I think so.
Either way. I mean, it's the portion, the cheating portion, and what that does to the game of college football is frustrating. As a fan, as someone who watches the game in detail, I don't want a team to have an advantage in that way. If your advantage is you're more physical, great. That's you put in the time, You're a grittier team. Okay, awesome. I have no problem with that. But I just don't like that I'm sitting here watching ESPN run interview after interview with Jim. And what does he stand for? To anyone who's not a Michigan homer drinking the blue Kool-Aid, what does this guy stand for? Take the Michigan branding out of it and just say, hey, Jim Harbaugh and his football team won the national championship. That's what's hard for me, because it's like, hey, if that was Saban or Kirby, Dabo, it doesn't matter who it would have been.
I agree. Giving Tuesday on the Monty Show, presented by our good friends at BuckedUp, BuckedUp.com, the official energy provider of the Monty Show. And I will say, this morning, 18 degrees outside. Drug my ass to the gym. Mrs. Monty and I got out of bed this morning, and it feels so good to say I knocked out 6 reps at 225 on the bench press, and it was awesome. Even though Mrs. Monty on the first set pulled the bar up early before I got to the top, I said, no, sir. You will not ruin my 225. Knocked out six reps at 225, and I give all the credit to BuckedUp because, again, I tell you every single day on this show, down 5 more pounds, losing weight, being stronger, hitting the golf ball further. I give a lot of, speaking of Darren Ingram, I give Darren Ingram a lot of credit, and I give BuckedUp a lot of credit because I'm sleeping better. Mrs. Monty and I joked on text today. Sleeping better because we're eating better. We have better supplements, better nutrition, better workouts, better sleep. It's amazing. We joke that we put our phones down last night, laid in bed and kind of like joked around and laughed with each other and got a great night of sleep. Woke up, knocked out 225 on bench. It was amazing. BuckedUp.com. Use the promo code Monty. Giving Tuesday today, friends, we are giving you a Nintendo Switch here on Giving Tuesday. And all you have to do is show us you're bucked up. So we already told you that Big Daddy Magic has the lead right now.
Mm-hmm.
But noted, and I don't know, is Mike Maples really a Michigan fan?
I have no idea.
Well, here's his video that says he is.
Hey, casuals. It's your 2003 two-hole conference fantasy football champion. Now, I know some of you guys are upset with the results from last night. But there's nothing better to cheer those sorrows than some BuckedUp cherry candy.
Oh, let's go!
I think there's 2 people specifically that could use it more than anybody else. So let's see if they'll come get it. I'll bring it to their door for them on this wonderful Giving Tuesday.
Oh no, he's hit the wrong building! Look where he is, Jake.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
Doesn't look like anybody's home. So I guess they'll have to come get it themselves. Oh, and by the way, we're here at the studio. And in case anybody forgot, Michigan Wolverine national champions. Yeah.
Now, we used to be at the Maverick Center. Our studio used to be at the Maverick Center, which is an arena here in Salt Lake City. But over the summer, we moved to a palatial rooftop, office tower and stuff. We're on like the second floor of an office building. So we are not at Maverick Center anymore, but that you have bucked up.
Yeah, that's a legit entry.
And that you showed up where you thought we were.
There would be no way for Mapes to know that we moved.
That's awesome, Mapes. And you're in 20-degree weather. Put on a jacket, kid. Yeah. You're going to get sick. And then there's Maury Alvarez. You sent me the Maury Alvarez today.
Yes, I've not watched it, though.
Here's our great Floridian, Maury Alvarez.
Camilla, what are you doing?
I'm doing my day trading.
You're doing your day trading?
Yeah.
Oh, man, how are you doing?
Try day trading.
Let's go,
Not
baby.
Good?
I think I need some help.
You need some help? What do you need?
I need BuckedUp.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he's got the cute daughter in again.
Yes. We know Maury's formula. It's a tried and true formula.
It's a tried and true formula.
Tried and true formula.
He's got the Volvo.
Okay.
Got the mini fridge.
Stocked up the fridge last week.
What do we got? Rocket Pop. She's got the Rocket Pop. More, you got to get that kid to the gym.
What do you bet?
Get it. There we go.
Do you even lift?
Let's go. Well, see, I still, here's the thing though.
Tight race here. Tight race.
I love Mapes going to the old Maverick Center studio, but
Two bucked up and some beer.
I mean, he walked into a Maverick.
I
Beautiful
also
Sheila
like to,
Bynum
hold on,
for me.
pause the video here. Hold on. We need to put some context to this, okay? So I'd also like to point out that Big Daddy Magic's done this unprovoked.
Yeah, he didn't even know this.
This entry was sent to us before the show, before he knew we were giving the switch away. So he's just gone out and done this and is advocating in the community for the show.
Yeah,
which
he
I
is-
do think matters.
Big Daddy Magic is the official Monty Show ambassador, right? So he goes out to a Maverick
Two bucked up and some beer.
and gets $2 up
The
and
beautiful
some
Sheila
beer
Bynum for me.
with his hot girlfriend, I think, or his daughter.
You ever had one of these bucked up?
Not sure.
I drink
And now
every
he's
day,
Oh
soliciting
man, they're the best
cashier.
things in the world.
especially if you want to wake up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I drink. Okay, you're looking at 49.16. I was gonna back those up, but
Oh yeah, I forgot about you.
so I drank 2 monsters and I couldn't still wake
No,
up.
bucked up's the
So
best.
I drank the bucked
It's
up.
the official drink of the Monty Show, and you should try
Boom.
E-Trade.
Okay.
10-day,
try,
30-day membership for only $10. I will buy
You know, you should try E-Trade or
Yeah, I don't
Try
know
day
what
trading.
E-Trade is,
so,
but,
you know, trydaytrading.com/Monty.
Okay, now we have an additional entry.
And
from-
I think, I to be clear, I think Big Daddy Magic is running away with it.
Mhm.
I think that performance, how organic it is, and without the knowledge. And now look at you guys texting me. No. And I'm not going to read it on air. I don't want text messages begging for the switch
Nope.
because you will bend the knee.
Okay, I'm getting DMs now from people saying that they're shooting their videos right now.
Okay.
And they need time to edit. And you still have time. I do have one more here. Mapes has sent in his second entry because
Okay.
he wants a redo for the studio blunder. So I'm sending that over now. I have not listened to it or watched it, just purely edited it.
OG
Right.
Gary, Mapes wins. Got to top off the week with a switch. Fantasy champ, natty champ, and now giving the Tuesday champ. Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Big Daddy Magic for the win. I mean, right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Marley Nugg says, F that guy. I ordered 20 cases. Prove it.
Damn.
Man, you ordered 20 cases. We'll give you your own switch. You ordered 20 cases of Bucked Up. You send Jake a receipt. DM Jake,
Yeah.
SLC
You
Jake.
got proof?
You send him you order 20 cases of Bucked Up. I'll send you a switch today. Today. That's what I'm saying. That woman looked like she was wishing he would just quit talking and get the hell out. Well, there might be some to that. The people at Maverick,
Depends on the Maverick, bro.
depends on the Maverick.
Depends on the Maverick.
Depends
dude.
on the Maverick.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For real? Yeah. You show me a receipt
Yeah,
that you
dude.
bought 20 cases of Bucked Up. I'll send you a Nintendo
Yes.
Switch today.
Yes.
Marley Nugg says, I'm lying, fellas. Don't mind me. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Didn't Big Daddy Magic have a stroke? Correct me if I'm wrong. Still recovering. I believe he did. He was in the hospital for a time. He was in the hospital for a time. So
Yeah, boy's back though. He's made the
He
comeback.
is.
Yeah, he's made his comeback.
and he's legitimately a paparazzi.
Yeah.
He goes around and takes pictures, videos, and he's on the show all the time. If you look at his avatar, it's him and Pat McAfee. Because he goes
He
around
was
and gets
there.
pictures
He
with
was
dudes.
there when Pat McAfee was at Utah.
So I'm just saying, he was in the hospital. Absolutely. No doubt. Welcome to the nightmare. A member of the show for 5 months.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Also, if you get in an accident, the advocates, exactly right.
Right.
Exactly right. If you get in an accident, you absolutely have to go to the advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. So see, people are starting now to pick up on it, right? Like, you want to make money? Look at Maury Alvarez, trydaytrading.com. He's got it in the video. Like, he understands it. He's in their trial membership, trydaytrading.com/Monty. Get your $10, make a $10 charitable donation. You get the 30-day trial membership. Absolutely. You guys hook it up. let's see. Wait, what are we saying here? TH. UM can't stand on a moral high ground ever again. No, they probably can't. They probably can't. James, let's fix the sign stealing problem. Put a mic in the helmet, just like they do in the NFL, and you won't need to have sign stealing to call plays. Well, I mean, obviously.
First of all, hold on. James, dude, welcome back. Are you okay? I know yesterday was a little rough for you. I appreciate seeing you back here today, my guy.
I think winter crabbiness is kind of setting in. You were a red ass today.
Hi, this is James. Welcome back.
Yay.
Yay.
And James has had a rough go. Like all of his bobbleheads drank his bucked up, so he didn't have any. Couldn't win the $100 Amazon gift card on Friday, you know. But then Two Holes is in a bad mood. You know, we got Mapes going to the wrong studio. Our pets' heads are falling off.
But I do agree, James.
Yeah, and it's going to happen next season. It's already, from what I was told, it's already being proposed in the Division I Board of Directors meeting for the NCAA. Maury Albers, my disappointment lies in the fact that the last 2 years, the semifinal games were more entertaining than the actual national championship. The national championship games have not been close.
Yeah.
And I don't think last night was close. I know people were saying it was a touchdown game and late. It wasn't that close.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, was it really that close? I don't think it was. But Maury, I think that's a great point. I think that's a really good point that the semifinals are better, but now we're going to 12 teams, and I think I'll be interested to see what it is. Boston Mapes, a member for 12 months. Congrats on 50K. I made an updated one, but we'll have to go with the original. Okay, well, let's play the updated one.
Hey, casuals. Your fantasy football 2-hole conference champion here. Now, I know a lot of you guys are upset about the results from last night. And as your champion, I hate seeing you in sorrow. And do I want to see my two best friends this upset? No. So, Monty, go easy on 2 holes. He ain't feeling very bravo today. And for you guys, I got 2 bucked up cherry candies to completely wipe away those sorrows. So let's link up after the show so I can come give them to you on this Giving Tuesday. And in case you forgot, national champion Michigan Wolverines. Yeah!
Turn that shit off, man.
The combo.
Turn that off, bro.
Yeah! Dude, I love it.
No, that is a good.
Is he getting away without being called a Connor Stallions lookalike with those sunglasses?
Yeah, I mean, what are you doing, man? Why are you wearing Michigan gear? You should be in Central Michigan gear, dude.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah,
you're being a jerk now. You're absolutely being a jerk. All right, a couple more. Again, remember, all you have to do to win the Nintendo Switch. 1 hour left. All you have to do is show us your bucked up. Now, you see what the bar is. You see, we've had some great videos.
Much like Michigan. You've got tape on it. You know who they are. Don't come in here with no pass.
Yeah, steal their ideas like Michigan stole everybody's signs. That's right. Like this is not rocket science. Friends, this is not rocket science. So all you have to do is tag Jake or DM it to him. Tag him on Twitter or Instagram, SLC Jake. SLC Jake on Twitter or Instagram. He never gets on TikTok. Never, ever gets. Are you ever on TikTok?
Like once in a blue moon.
There you go. I'm on TikTok every day. The Monty Show. MONTY, The Monty Show. Let's see. Aaron Wilson for $2. Editing my entry for today. Please give me a bit. Yeah. Hey, man. You got time. I mean, mine won't speed up. James, it's not J2H. It should be J2L as in too legit. Oh, pander. Pander.
See, there's my
pander.
Guy. That's my guy.
Pander.
Let's go, baby.
Boston Mapes. Yes, a Michigan fan since Tyrone Wheatley.
Okay.
Dude, Tyrone Wheatley was one of the best dudes I ever covered with the Raiders. Just a genuinely good dude. Was on my show all the time. Boss Frog, Mapes is making this contest difficult.
I agree. This is one of the better contests we've had on Giving Tuesday. I mean, last week was kind of a runaway with Maury, but this week is very competitive because I'm with you. We have to put a bunch of weight on the fact that Big Daddy Magic's entry was done before he even knew he was getting any.
I think the fact that he went into a Maverick, spent his money on bucked up in beer, and videotaped somebody and was like, hey, that's the official drink of the Monty Show.
Dude, Darren Ingram is in the contest.
Oh, let's go.
Bro.
Darren, when are we going to go to Copper Rock?
Okay, bro.
When are we going to go to St. George and golf, Darren? Let's go.
Okay, let me get this one not dialed up. Okay.
I'm here for it
and
now.
I have to say, this is a high quality one. I think this one has potential.
Eric Wasikowski says nobody wants to claim they're from Central Michigan.
Wow.
Okay. Joseph Harper, since everyone is soaring around with sponsors, let's not forget Prize Picks, prizepicks.com, the official daily fantasy partner. If you guys, Joseph Harper is on a heater.
Absolutely.
My dude, Joseph Harper. I forgive him because he's a 12, but this dude is on one of the great Prize Picks heaters that I've seen lately. Like, we exchange picks. He sends me his picks. Like, I've been stealing his picks. I lose, he wins. It's how it goes. This dude's on a Prize Picks heater. So I'm telling you, if you're not playing Prize Picks, let's play together the rest of the NBA season. Baseball on Prize Picks is amazing. I think the MLB playoffs on Prize Picks was awesome. It was incredible. Baseball's coming back. Basketball's kicking in full speed. College basketball, like the NFL playoffs, I'm here for it. PrizePicks.com. In the description below, you can get a link to our Prize Picks, or just go to Prize Picks and download the app. Use the promo code Monty, M-O-N-T-Y, Monty. They will give you 100% deposit matching with that promo code. You put in $10, they'll give you $10. You put in 100, they'll give you 100. It's a great promo. You with $10, they give you $10. You can play with $20 for weeks.
Oh, a ton
at
of
a time. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you can play it for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time. Kevin the Destroyer. So if Dak had 3 more passing yards, I would have hit $500. Oh, that is so bad. I've actually got Karl Anthony Towns is the Taco Tuesday play today. And I'll show you my Prize Picks coming up here in 20 minutes at 4 o'clock Pacific. Okay, so Darren Ingram is in the contest.
Yes.
Have you seen the entry?
I've seen it, and it's pretty good. I haven't heard it, though. There's some yelling and some flexing and stuff.
Well, Darren shredded, though.
Yeah,
and it's not fair. Like, he's like a military guy. He learned under Butch Harmon. Like, he's a great golf. Trust me. Hey, man, if you need lessons, no matter where you are,
yes,
get with Darren Ingram. I'm telling you,
DM us if you need contact.
Yeah,
info.
DM me. I'll send you his contact. He is a great golf instructor.
For real.
And here is Darren Ingram's entry on Giving Tuesday, presented by our good friends at BuckedUp. Here's Darren Ingram's entry. Working the subs. He is. Oh, he's going to do pull-ups.
Do it. Do it.
1 arm pull-ups. Let's go.
Incredible. Listen,
go.
Wait, it's better.
Bucked up.
You see what I mean? Points for creativity, bro. That's incredible.
Does that take the lead?
It's incredible.
I think that takes the lead.
It's close, dude.
He did a 1 arm pull-up.
Now, I do need to go full transparency on what he said in his submission, just because I think it's only fair. He said that he doesn't want the switch, even if he wins. He's being that guy. So I don't know. I don't know.
Well, then we'll give you an Amazon gift card that's equal to it.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
That's you guys.
That's an incredible entry, dude.
Do you know what I would give to be able to do a 1 arm? I'm thrilled to be doing 225. And this dude's got the bucked up pump. He's got the bucked up shaker cup. Look at the
it's a hell of a
intensity.
drug.
Look at the intensity.
He's got the eye of the tiger. Look at how casual it is, too. He knows his mission. He's prepared.
Oh, my God. And it's easy.
Look at that. No problem, dude. No problem, bro.
All gas, no brakes.
Bucked up.
That's my guy, bro.
I got to give him the lead on that.
Yeah, that's
I got to
good,
give him
dude.
the lead
that's
on
pretty
that.
good.
Holy cow.
That's pretty good, my boy.
Yeah, Robert Fowler says new #1 video. Noel says, LOL, he was breathing heavy after that. Dude, it's a one-arm pull-up.
Yeah, dude. Come on.
Are you kidding me? Boss Frog, I'm glad that guy's on our side. Exactly. Exactly. Eric Wasikowski says, shake it first. So are we? Did he not shake the cup
watch
first?
him. I thought he was going to do a dry scoop here, but he dumps it in the cup. Watch this. Watch the technique.
Okay, he's got the pump.
Yep.
Apocalypse.
Great product, by the way. Now watch it. Dumps it right in. No problem. No shake.
That's even better.
Just straight cash.
That's even better. He did not shake that up.
By the way, this is not his first time doing one-handed pull-up. Notice the technique. Watch the hand go over to his arm. Just perfect technique. No shaker necessary. And then this is just a perfect finish. Perfect.
He did not shake that. He did not mix it up.
No, dude.
I'm for real.
Oh, dude.
So don't even think about messing with me.
He's got the lead.
Yeah.
He didn't shake it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's hard to do. Adam Salamini, he just wanted you to hear him breathing hard, or he redid the video a bunch of times. I don't think so. I don't think why would he redo it? Lopes fan Gabe, are we just going to ignore how he raw dogged that?
Stay hard.
Now we're making raw dog references. Oh my God. Boston Mapes love it, Darren.
Darren, I need some presence in the chat here. Is this a common practice of yours where you quote unquote raw dog your supplements? Bro.
I'm sorry. I thought that. Dude. Yeah, he's got the lead. Mike Smith says, we ripped on OG Gary for a limp shaking in one of his videos. Yeah, why even have limp shaking? Just pour the powder in there and just drink the damn thing.
What are we doing? I don't need shaking.
Holy
technique.
cow. Phenomenal Hebrew. I totally disagree. The guy at the store was a literal walking advertisement for BuckedUp, Monty Show, and the trading company. Oh, do you see that this is the greatness of our show,
bro?
This is what this show is about. When you are raw dogging your supplements and being a walking billboard, and Big Daddy Magic is absolutely the Monty Show ambassador all the time. Robert Fowler, Darren Ingram, golf you to man. I'm telling you.
Facts, dude.
I'm telling you.
100%.
Darren Ingram says, haha, I love to raw dog life, my guy. Wow. Andy's a skier. And I will tell you that Darren, that guy can hit a golf ball a mile.
Yeah.
Darren's that guy we golfed with a guy down at Lake Las Vegas.
Yeah, who is a former PGA Tour pro.
And a teaching professional now. And he was just one off with his girlfriend. Like he was a single and his girlfriend was riding in the cart. We're over here, two hacks playing golf down at Lake Las Vegas, and this dude's literally 450 yards every tee shot. And just bang. Like, he was so much further than us that he's like sitting behind us waiting for us to hit. Like, we're about to hit our third shot. He's hitting his second. Like, with a 60 degree. It was annoying as hell. But that's who Darren is. Like, he shows up and bang, the ball's gone. It's quite literally unbelievable. Robert Fowler, this is by far the funniest show of yours I've watched. Well, we try to have fun.
Yeah,
we do. Adam Salamini, Limp Shaky, the next big mumble rapper. I think so. OG Gary down at LSU. And got to get the Southern twang in there. Let's see. OG Gary says, my boy Mapes putting in work. Mapes is still in the lead for me. Man, you are fighting for Mapes.
You Michigan boys.
Boston Mapes. I mean, I'm traveling all over the damn state to bring the power of positivity. You are. I totally agree. Wow. What a first hour and 45 minutes on the Monty Show. As always, hour number 2.5, 3 is presented by TryDayTrading.com. TryDayTrading.com/Monty. I say it every day, no matter what your hang up is in life. And we tend to naturally be complainers, right? We tend to focus on the negative instead of being Boston Mapes and focusing on the positive. So we complain about our credit card debt. We're not making enough money. We spent too much on Christmas. We don't like our car. We don't like our job. We don't like our house, our apartment, our rent, whatever it might be. TryDayTrading.com is your answer. Hey, I've got too much credit card debt. TryDayTrading.com. Hey, I want to buy a house, but I can't afford it. TryDayTrading.com. And no matter what it is. And I try to hook you guys up. I think you know that on this show. Like, we had a huge sales pitch today. Massive multinational company today. And what did we talk about? Well, we always have to have a way to integrate our viewers, our listeners, and our people on YouTube. Have to have a way to integrate them into the show. I don't know that we have a better way of integrating people than giving you the keys to your financial future for $10 worth of a charitable donation. And that's really what it is at TryDayTrading.com. You go there, TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Sign up for their 30-day trial membership. You make a $10 charitable donation. Every month they have a charity that they focus on. And they give all their money to charity, and you get 30 days full run in their program. You get a coach instantaneously. They put you right into simulators, so you start trading, learning, understanding, and you get a ton of support. You get webinars, you get live coaching sessions, you get text messages, phone calls, whatever you need. They teach you how to work it into your day. There's no more excuses. Stop saying, I'm going to do it next year. Stop saying this is the year. And then we get to February and you're like, yeah, maybe next year. Do it now. No more New Year's resolutions. Do it now. We talk about it every day with fitness and nutrition on the show. Do it now, man. TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. $10 to see your financial future at TryDayTrading.com. The biggest stories of the day, I don't think there's any doubt that the Tennessee Titans firing Mike Vrabel is a shocker today.
Bro,
and
what are you talking about, man?
I know that there's a lot of shockers in the NFL. The fact that Mike Vrabel is no longer the head coach of the Tennessee Titans because he did not get along with their new general manager is mind-numbing to me. I don't think there's anybody on this show that would argue with us if we said to you, Mike Vrabel is one of the bright young coaches in this game. And I think that he is. The issue is not the coaching was bad. The issue is you just didn't have enough talent at the right place in the right time. Mike Vrabel, in my opinion, did a great job in Tennessee, and I think they're going to have an incredibly difficult time replacing him. But here's the thing. Mike Vrabel's not going to have a very difficult time replacing the Tennessee Titans. He is instantly, I think, one of the best available candidates on the coaching market, and I think he is an instantaneous interview. If the New England Patriots move on from Bill Belichick, how is your first call not to Mike Vrabel? And frankly, how does Mike Vrabel not change your opinion of moving on from Bill Belichick in New England? I think he absolutely has to, because you know you're getting a guy that's got a rock-solid foundation, a program, and he knows how to get the most out of his players. Jake, I think Mike Vrabel's a great fit for the New England Patriots.
And obviously a former Patriot. And I think that, you know, you look at Vrabel and you look at the fact that he runs a pretty tight ship, and obviously, you know, they didn't win as much as I'm sure Mike would have liked for them to have won, but they were a contending team. They had some years where they were really pushing the playoff picture. So to me, I think if you're Bob Kraft, you're looking at this situation and you're saying, okay, what do we need in this organization to sort of move forward? Because a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, you don't have to change Bill. You know, really it's Mac Jones and, you know, just some personnel stuff. And to me, I think more than anything, what the Patriots need is to get a bit younger. And I think that's the biggest thing when I look at Bill Belichick is like Bill Belichick's one of the greatest head coaches of all time. But when guys who are what I call seasoned, experienced, have been there and done that, but are not 100 years old, become available, you got to take a real hard look at that. And that's exactly what Mike Vrabel is. And obviously, Vrabel's another defensive guy, so maybe you don't love that if you're Bob Kraft, or maybe you do. I don't know. But I sit there and I look at Mike Vrabel and I say, hey, this is a guy who's widely respected, is really good with his players in terms of relationships and building culture and having the place feel good, and is someone that you know is going to have your organization in a good place, and you just need to give him the weapons to go out and win games. And if you do that, he's going to execute. So to me, It absolutely changes the Belichick conversation if I'm Kraft. It absolutely changes the conversation if I'm if I'm the Commanders. I am looking at Mike Vrabel big time. Even if I'm the Chargers and I know I like Harbaugh, I'm still taking an interview with Vrabel. I'm still going to ask to interview with you because I think that would be a decent fit. Like, that's someone you need to go after. So to me, yeah, Vrabel's a big deal. But at the end of the day, these organizations know who they want and who they don't want. And the good news for Mike is that he's definitely someone that an organization out there would want to hire. No question about it.
Yeah. And I look at, when we talk about these coaching situations, I think you have to look at, fit of coach with roster. Again, Jim Harbaugh with the LA Chargers, who should still be in San Diego. The sex machine, Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert needs development. That's a guy who's got to grow and get better. Jim Harbaugh. Great fit, perfect match for the quarterback, perfect match for the head coach, done. Mike Vrabel's a great fit in New England, in my opinion. Now, do you need to kind of leverage his staff with him and philosophically talk to him about being a much better offensive team because you're the worst offense in the NFL? Well, of course you do. But this goes back to the Chicago Bears. Why are the Chicago Bears not, and why have they not fired Matt Eberflus as yet? I don't know.
Excuse me, it's Flus.
Yeah, the Flus. Thank you.
The Flusinator.
Thank you. Why have the Bears not fired the Flus yet? Well, because they clearly are having thoughts. But again, I think around the NFL, it's a foregone conclusion. You've got to move on from Justin Fields. Well, how do you do that? Well, you draft Caleb Williams and you hire Lincoln Riley to be your head coach. Because if you're going to move on from Justin Fields, you don't keep the staff. I don't see any way that you draft Caleb Williams with this coaching staff in place in Chicago. That's not a good fit.
It's a package deal, man. They all join the organization together. You're moving on from them together. And I just think that that's the best route.
And then you look at Dallas, and we talked about this yesterday. And again, I'm never surprised when Jerry Jones creates his own headlines. I think he's amazing at that, for the better and for the worse. He said yesterday that Mike McCarthy was game to game. Well, apparently some folks got in his ear because that's not what he said on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas today.
Well, I was a little surprised. I don't know how I could be any clearer. Coach McCarthy's under contract for next year, and so that's not an issue. Secondly, I couldn't be more pleased with what he's done and how he's coached. And so the last thing that I want to do is spend any time talking with him about these kinds of things, on agreements, extension of agreements, especially when I've got one. So that's it. And I've said I couldn't be more pleased with what he's done, and I really mean it. He has really made as big a difference from his head coaching vantage point as anybody could from any vantage point in the NFL. He's the big difference this year.
Why didn't you say that yesterday? Right? Like, this is why I think it's incredibly important that Jerry Jones, they're going to be better off the day he's not at the helm.
100%.
It's wild to me that you won the NFC East. You're asked about it after you've just won the NFC East, and you say, well, we evaluate things on a game-to-game basis. And I think I took a ton of crap for this from Cowboy fans yesterday on the show. He's 12-5, 3 straight years. That's 36-15 after a 6-10 year. You're 36-15. You've won the NFC East. Mike McCarthy's taken over the offense. And remember what everybody said. Oh, man, Kellen Moore, he's gone. This is the end of the beginning of the end. Dak Prescott got much better when Mike McCarthy took over, with McCarthy calling the plays, wearing a hat that's far too small for his massive head. Mike McCarthy improved the offense exponentially. And you're game to game?
Yeah, and I think the other thing, too, that needs to be said is, while it's been 3 years in a row of 12-5, this is by far your best year in terms of how the team feels, in terms of how Dak feels, in terms of like how that offense is running. Certainly Lamb and the way he's been playing, like this 12-5 feels a little bit different than the prior 2 years. And I think, you look at the NFC, and this is again, and it's no shade to the Eagles, no shade to anyone else, but I just feel like this particular year, the way the cookies crumbled in the NFC, you have your best opportunity in front of you to get to the Super Bowl. The 49ers are really the only team standing in your way because you should handle, you should be able to handle Miami. You should be able to handle, several of these teams that would be in your way. You are better than them. San Francisco is the only one where you're like, okay, if we see them in the NFC Championship game, that's the only team that I see that should have any reasonable way to beat this team. And if they lose to anybody, and this is where I think the rubber meets the road with Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys, if you lose this year before the NFC Championship game, that I would understand Jerry being frustrated with because he's put together a good enough team. The offense is clicking.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You're out here to win Super Bowls, not just get to the playoffs.
And note that he said that Jerry said Mike is under contract next year. Well, the question is, why are you not giving him an extension? If you win the wild card game, do you give him an extension?
No, not right after that. If he wins the divisional round, I'd give him an extension.
If you beat the Packers at home, he deserves an extension. You have to. And I think one of the other points here that is so important, are the Dallas Cowboys the best NFL team in the state of Texas?
Yeah.
Because the Texans are coming.
Yeah.
I'm a D'Amico Ryans believer.
But I think they're coming. I agree. And CJ Stroud's very impressive. The Cowboys are better.
Right now, the Cowboys are better.
Yeah, the Cowboys are better.
The Houston Texans are coming. And if you don't think that Jera's paying attention to what's going down in Houston, and if you don't think that Mark Cuban's paying attention to what's going on with the Rockets, who are much better, you're crazy. I think the Dallas-Houston thing is alive and well, and I think the Houston Texans are coming.
Yeah.
And I think Jerry Jones hears those footprints, those footsteps. Rather. Oh, he's a great story.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he's a great story. But there is no doubt in my mind that the Dallas Cowboys are a better team because of Mike McCarthy.
Certainly.
And I think that needs to be said.
And I think Cowboy fan needs to appreciate Mike McCarthy more than you appreciated the Jason Garretts of the world or, those who came before Mike. Because I think Mike has handled like the 6-10 season's a really good example. It would have been really easy for Mike to just crumble under that and kind of just not be the same after that. But he understood where he was and where he wanted to go. And that's why I say it's really hard because I feel like for Cowboy fan, you're almost spoiled in the sense that you get to the playoffs pretty regularly. And it's almost to a point where it's like, cool, we got to the playoffs, but what's different this year? Cool, 12 wins. But if we don't, that's what I'm saying. I really do believe it's NFC Championship game or bust. That's the minimum. I really believe that for them.
I mean, nobody's going to fault you for losing to the 49ers. I think that is the most dominant team in the NFC right now.
Yeah.
And I think the 49ers are clearly better. But there is no doubt in my mind that when I look at the Cowboys, who are a 7.5-point favorite on a 51-point number, 2:30 Fox on Sunday, if the Dallas Cowboys lose to the Packers, okay, you can have a conversation because to put a bow around this Cowboy thing, the best thing is you're 12-5 for 3 straight years.
Yes.
The worst thing is you're 12-5 for 3 straight years and you're not advancing in the playoffs. So you've got to beat the Packers, and I think they will. As much as I think Jordan Love has improved as a quarterback and he has solidified that job in Green Bay, they're not ready to come. Dallas is a different team at Jerry World.
Mm-hmm.
They're in Tarrant County, boy.
And that's what I'm saying.
They're a different team.
You have to continue to secure home field advantage. You have to continue. That's what I'm saying. This 12-5 is different. And I feel like as football fans, we don't appreciate that enough. It's easy to say, glass half full, glass half empty type deal. Oh, well, you're just 12-5. Okay, yeah, you're 12-5. You're going to the playoffs again. Can we get over the hump? And that's why I say, I look at the Cowboys and I say, hey, Dak's a legitimate MVP candidate. Looked at the numbers today. His numbers are better than Lamar's numbers. He has Lamar on paper. So if you're going to sit here and say that Dak isn't an MVP candidate, I'm going to need a real good reason as to what you see Lamar is doing better. So
I agree.
I just think that they're rolling right now. And I'm not even a Cowboy supporter. I just think you got to watch out for them. They're a good team.
Make 2K the ride share way every week. Okay. Go Texans, worst to first, baby. That's a great story.
Yeah.
And I think.
Sorry, I'm screen recording over here.
You watching a little?
I'm screen recording over here. Our boy James from Stoolwater has put in a video entry.
Okay.
And he said he's making fun of himself in this video.
Well, I look forward to that. James is very good on video. Adam Salamini, if anyone would draft head case that is nail polish, it's the Bears. Well, you say tongue in cheek, but I actually think one of the things you have to really look at is the mental side of his game. And I don't think there's any doubt Caleb Williams on a talent basis is the best quarterback in this draft. Yeah. I don't question that at all. To be the best quarterback in this draft, though, you better have a brain and you better have mental toughness. And I don't know that Caleb Williams has that. We saw some things this year emotionally, crying on the field. Okay, there are some things where it felt to me he lost his emotional composure. And it'll be interesting to see how all that gets flushed out. But again, if you draft Caleb Williams, I'm fine with that, but you better not do it with Matt Eberflus as your head coach. You just can't do that. Kevin the Destroyer, go Cowboys. And Donut says, what is JJ? Jerry Jones. Bow down to the night Texans. Okay. You're a big Texans fans. I love it. Joseph Harper, how quickly JJ mind will change if the boys collapse against the Packers. I can't see that happening.
They're not losing to the Packers, dude.
I can't see that happening. I'd be really surprised by that. Sean Rollins, dementia is the word of the day. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
That's nothing to joke about, dude.
Kevin the Destroyer, Cowboys in a better zip code. Maybe, but let's not pretend. The Houston Texans are on the rise. There's no doubt about that. There is no doubt about that. The Cowboys, the Texans are catching the Cowboys. And it is, yeah. Come on now. Shaner, dudes, the yay never gets old. The yay never gets old.
Yeah, well, you're about to get more of it.
Okay.
In about 5 minutes.
Okay. Let's see. Kevin the Destroyer, Lamont Tucker, rather, says, speaking of idiots, have Jameis Winston played his last NFL game? I think there's a real good chance of that. Jameis Winston, we talked about it at length yesterday. The Jameis Winston thing is absolutely, I don't care if it's Atlanta. I don't care that it's a rivalry game. You don't do what Jameis Winston did. You don't do what Jameis did. And I would never employ Jameis Winston. I would not. Kevin the Destroyer, drop pass by Eni and they would have lost. Mike totally better than Garrett. Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Yeah. And I think Jason Garrett was just not willing to take those risks. Mike McCarthy understands calculated risks. And I think the thing that we've seen Mike do is he's allowing Dak to play his style of football. And it's really helped CeeDee Lamb come out in the second half. And I think what we saw last year was Kellen Moore wasn't willing to do that. And I think it's it's coincidence the word. Kellen Moore's gone. CeeDee Lamb's one of the best receivers in the NFL. And we sat here in October and really September, early October and asked, is CeeDee Lamb a number one wide receiver in this league? I think he's showing you he has the potential to be that. He's going to have to do it.
Define that.
He's going to have to do it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I think there's no doubt that this offense is better with Mike McCarthy at the helm than Kellen Moore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. And I feel very strongly that Mike McCarthy deserves a contract extension because this is as good as they've been in some time.
Facts.
And you're not better. Let's be very clear, though. The Cowboys are not the best team in the NFC. That's the San Francisco 49ers. The Cowboys are second right now. Now you lose to the Packers, that's out the window, right? That's out the window. So with as flawed as the Eagles have showed us that they are through all these attrition and injuries, I'd have to think the Cowboys are the second best team. And if that game was played in Dallas, I don't think it would change. I think the San Francisco 49ers are just too talented for Dallas to handle. Boss Frog says, agreed, Kevin. And I think, Boss, you're a Cowboy supporter. Mike Smith, yes, he is a better than Gingerbot 5000.
Keep it real.
I like it. The EA never gets old. Speaking of which, we do have a new entry into the Giving Tuesday contest presented by our good friends at BuckedUp, BuckedUp.com. And it is James.
Apparently, my mission is to go to Walmart and get creatine by BuckedUp. What the? Let's go now.
Give him credit. Give him credit.
Are you wearing flip-flops, bro?
The music, though.
The music? I like the music.
I like the music. You need to be a little more visually stimulated here than
Monty
just
said I need
concrete on the ground.
creatine, so let's go!
Yay!
I found it! Yay!
Okay. I guess that's the whole thing.
Apparently, my mission is to go to Walmart.
That is the whole
So
thing.
you doubled it up.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
That's okay.
My bad.
I'll forgive you.
That's not
He
bad.
got the
James.
woke AF.
Yeah, dude, that's a pretty good entry.
He got the woke AF, and there's a yay in there.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if
Yay!
I still think I would give it to Darren Ingram. I think the one arm push up and raw dogging the supplement that I still think the Big Daddy Magic is because Darren says he doesn't want it.
Okay, we've got a heavy hitter who's just submitted his entry.
Really?
We
I don't
have a
know
heavy hitter.
I don't know what people's weight has to do with it, but okay. Who's the heavy
Aaron
hitter?
Wilson.
Oh, Aaron Wilson's good on video.
Yeah.
This ought to be good. Boss Frog, without question, Texans are not quite there. I would agree with that.
But you have to admit, it's good to see them be better. And the Texans, had some chances 5-7 years ago, and they've just been terrible since. And it's good to see them be back.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yes, I would agree with that. It is good to see them be back. Mike Smith, 49ers is the last team. What do you mean? Green Bay without Rodgers is no threat. I wouldn't say no threat. Jordan Love is making some throws that I don't think anybody thought he'd ever be capable of. So I wouldn't say that. Wasikowski, as a Lions fan, I want Green Bay to beat Dallas. You better. Man, I want the Lions to be good. Dan Campbell's such a good story. And I think he's going to lose guys off that staff. This is probably their last best run.
Yeah.
They need to win now. Phoenix Masta, CJ was amazing to watch last year. Pacing Cougar fans, snow will hit before you guys get to go home. It probably will.
Oh, it will. Yeah.
So update real quick. We have developed several really important meetings at CES in Las Vegas. So
developments and progression is happening.
Progression is happening.
Mm-hmm.
CES, which is the Consumer Electronics Show. We have a couple of massive meetings in Las Vegas, Wednesday and Thursday. So we're going to be off Thursday and Friday because we're going to Las Vegas out of the blue. Not really out of the blue, but so all of a sudden we are off Thursday and Friday. So tomorrow we'll be doing a show. Thursday and Friday we will not. We'll be back on Monday, hopefully with some news for you. But we shall see. Teddy Wayman. Sup, guys? If Bill is out, I would love Vrabel in New England. And Teddy is the resident Patriots expert. Also, screw the Cowboys. They won't get out of the divisional round. Also, screw the Cowboys. I agree. A Hondo P. Screw the Cowboys, right?
Okay.
Yes.
I said a mandate that video was the only thing that can win.
Yes.
I've been undone.
Really?
The photo that I've just received is from an oldie, and it's one of the most amazing things, one of the most amazing polls that I've ever seen in a photo.
Okay, let's get Aaron Wilson's video loaded. It's one of the most amazing polls
This is
seen.
Hilarious.
Okay, let me make sure that I get this right. Teddy Wayman, good to see you, my guy.
Yeah, good to see you, Teddy.
Good to see you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Giving Tuesday presented by BuckedUp.
This is from Fat Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Read the text message.
I can't. It's too small.
You can't read it?
No, what's it? Read it for me.
The text message. So the first bubble, the text message. So Fat Jesus is messaging with his significant other here.
Okay.
First bubble says, "What's up, babe?" Second bubble says, "I'm done with you, ... Third bubble says, "You're breaking up with me, ? He then says, "Yep." She says, "You're pulling a Jake." And then, he says, "Sorry, I loved my BuckedUp more than you." And then the last one says F you in the Monty Show.
Okay.
That's an awesome
And
one,
he's
dude.
got the buck bar, and he's got the buckshot.
Yes.
And he's taking a shot at Jake, who, there's a lot of new listeners on the show. Jake is well known as a scumbag.
Okay, that's a little aggressive.
Not really. He breaks up with women over text because he lacks courage.
Uh-huh. Call me Michael Penix.
No. Oh.
Don't you know who I am?
Wow. No, all kidding aside. Jake broke up with a frisky young woman, on text message, and took a ration of crap on this show for well over a year.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point where it became a punchline. And Fat Jesus, who is an oldie and a goodie,
yes,
is referencing that by breaking up with his significant
Fat
other.
Jesus, you are incredible, my guy.
So who's in the lead right now?
We still got to play Aaron's.
But right now,
I don't know, man. This is close.
That's
dude.
clutch.
That's a really good pull.
That's one of the best entries I've ever seen.
So if Darren was competing, I think Darren would be number one, but he's not competing. So with that said, I still think it's Big Daddy. But
okay, Big Daddy Magic in the lead.
And I only say that, Mapes. Don't get all pissed off, Michigan guy. I only say that
because you're a Michigan guy and you can't win.
Yeah.
If you want to cheat to win, the contest, go ahead and try.
Yeah, but no, I'm only saying that because Big Daddy Magic did this unprovoked. He had no idea.
I think that's a big tip of the cap.
That's a big deal.
I think that is a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, there's also Aaron Wilson.
G'day, mates. My name's James Knight, and I hope that today you'll be joining me in an exciting adventure to find some bucked up. Consider me the bucked up hunter. Come on, let's go. I've been deep in the Australian bush for almost 12 hours, stalking this one prey. Look here, it's a rare bucked up. Oh, God! I got it! Oh, God! I got it! Oh, it's a rare bucked up, mate! Here it is right here! Let's get her over! Oh!
Steve Irwin. Let's go, baby!
Oh, delicious, mate! And that'll be another adventure of the bucked up hunter. Good on ya!
Wow. Wow.
Strong entry.
That is a strong entry out of Aaron Wilson.
Rip to Steve Irwin. Miss you, boy.
Rip to Steve Irwin.
Yes.
He did get in the water.
He did, which I think,
he did get in the water.
This feels like the people need to vote on this because I think Maury's got a strong entry. Mapes obviously with the double entry went to the wrong buildings, been traveling around the state.
Wow.
This is incredible. You guys are amazing.
See,
for this.
I still lean to Big Daddy Magic. That's just me. Mike Smith says, yes, the water roll clinches
See what
it.
I mean, right? He got in the water in the middle of winter or whatever.
I risked my life for mine.
That's what I'm saying.
I've been saving this idea for months. James says, let the people decide yay or nay. Get it? Yay.
Right.
Yay.
Do a poll. Let's see what the people think. Do a poll.
Okay. In the comments section, and you can vote for whoever you want. This is the one that I think is the winner. I will play this, but that Aaron Wilson one. Are we going to really do a double winner again?
I don't know that we can, dude. The competition is stiff this week.
Cannot give away two.
No, we're not giving away multiple. We're not doing that.
Okay, I think this, if I had to pick one, I am still on the magical entry of Big Daddy Magic.
2 bucked up and some beer.
He's in a Maverick convenience.
Sheila buying it for me.
Like,
you ever had one of these bucked up?
I drink one today.
Oh man, they're the best things in the world.
Especially if you want to wake up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I drank. Okay, you're looking at 49.16. I was gonna bag those up. Oh yeah.
Here it comes.
So I drank 2 Monsters and I couldn't still wake
No,
up.
Bucked Up's the best.
So I drank the Bucked Up.
It's the official drink of the Monty Show, and you should try E-Trade.
Trade.
10-day 30-day membership for only $10. I will buy you the membership.
No, I got the membership.
All right.
I think that's the winner. I do.
Maury has sent in one more that he's asked me to play, and it's a quick one. It's a really quick one. Really quick one.
Oh, boy. See, this is what happens. We get into these. So
and he's asked me, he said before you play it, he specifically said, play my second video for my vote. So I think this is his vote as to who should win.
Okay.
Ready?
Big Daddy Magic.
Okay, so
she votes for Big Daddy Magic.
So she's saying Big Daddy Magic for the vote.
Okay. Giggity says Big Daddy Magic. Robert Fowler says Fat Jesus or Attack of the Killer Bucked Up. I can't decide. Attack of the Killer Bucked Up.
You got to do a poll, dude. Come on, please. Can you we need numbers.
The fact that you got the sponsor wrong is a DQ. No, I don't think it. You have to understand what's going on. Gumby Fresh Out says E-Trade is an automatic DQ.
Damn, bro.
How do we feel about that? Sean Rollins says Big Daddy #1. All right, let me put a poll. God, dog.
Why do you hate doing polls? What's the issue with polls?
Because it feels very Connor Stallions to me.
Well,
it is.
Well, that's the issue, isn't it?
Giving Tuesday.
Right.
Because I still think
and again, this is for a Nintendo Switch. And Darren said, Darren's DM'd me and said, random gift mine if I win. So put him in there.
Killer.
Put Darren in there.
Bucked up. I think then if Darren, I think Darren would win. I do. That's my opinion.
We're gonna let the people decide here.
One arm pull up. I do. So I've got Big Daddy Magic, Attack of the Killer Bucked Up, one arm pull up, and break up over text.
And then we got to have Mapes in there too.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Dude,
guy, bro.
God, did that just happen? Can I edit the
bro? That was so casual right there, dude.
So weak.
That
I
was
apologize.
so casual.
I apologize.
Oh no.
Okay, we're putting up the poll here.
God
we're putting up the poll here.
This is why I hate doing polls. Giving Tuesday. God damn it. Who wins Giving Tuesday? Big Daddy Magic? Okay. Number 2 would be one arm pull up.
Yes.
Arm pull up.
Yes. Yep.
Number 3
Attack of the Wild Bucked Up
would be Attack of the Wild Bucked Up.
Yep.
Wild Bucked Up. Okay. And number 4
is going to be James. Yay.
Yay guy.
Yay guy.
And that's it.
Yay!
That's why it went. I can only do 4.
So who's not in there?
Mapes.
Okay, so if you're voting for Mapes, you have to comment.
You have to comment.
Can you run a second poll at once? Or
no, I'm
you
not
can't?
doing that.
Okay.
I'm not doing it. Attack of the Wild Bucked Up is up 80-20. Oh boy, here we go. One arm pull-ups got 11%. Yay guys got 11%, but Attack of the Wild Bucked Up is up 62% now. 60%. Come on, get those votes in there.
Let's go.
50%. So Big Daddy Magic is closing now, but one arm pull-up guy coming up at 16. 48-29. Come on, this is not over now. Vote in the poll. 148 concurrent viewers. Let's go. 148. Get those votes in.
What's your vote? Your honest to goodness vote.
Big Daddy Magic.
You think Big Daddy Magic should win?
One arm pull up, but he really doesn't want us to win.
So
I actually would say one arm pull up, and then I would give it to Big Daddy Magic.
Okay.
That would be my vote.
Okay.
Attack of the Wild Bucked Up is up 48-26.
Man, that's tough, bro. I don't agree that the E-Trade thing's an auto DQ. Big Daddy's for sure in this.
Yeah. So the fan vote very clearly is going to go to Attack of the Wild Bucked Up.
Okay.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's at 42%. My vote is one arm pull up. What's your vote?
Yeah, I would say one arm pull up's the winner for sure. Darren for sure won. Yeah.
And then we would gift it to
whoever that. And the crowd wants Aaron to win.
The crowd wants Aaron to win, and he's winning 41-26.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go. More votes. You guys, come on. Hit it. More votes.
It's only been like a minute.
Yeah, let's get more votes in there.
Some time here.
Let's see. Mike Smith, one arm pull-up was last for me. Really?
And
He raw dogged the powder. How was that last?
Who was first for you then, Mike Smith? Who do you have first?
Man. Salamini says, I'm all about the recency bias.
Okay, meaning what?
Mr. Downtown, E-Trade is for babies. I advocate for tri-day trading.
Damn
well,
right you do.
Damn right you do. Aaron is always next level. Aaron Wilson says, please, oh, please. Aaron wins. If not, it's not even close. Love you, Mapes, but that's next level from Aaron.
I mean, I agree. So can we play it one more time? Because I want to see him rolling in the water. That's the thing that and you don't have to play it again if you don't want to. But I think rolling in the water when it's cold is definitely next level.
G'day, mates. My name's James Knight, and I hope that today you'll be joining me in an exciting adventure to find some bucked up. Consider me the bucked up hunter. Come on, let's go.
The bucked up hunter.
I love it.
I've been deep in the Australian bush for almost 12 hours, stalking this one prey. Look here, it's already.
I love the zoomed in look of the can.
For almost
12
hours.
It's so Nat Geo.
It's like lion drinking in the water, waiting for the game. Oh, and then he goes in the water.
And he's knee deep in the water too. Look at the wrestling.
And his arms are in the water. His legs are in the water.
Let's get her over. Oh,
I think that's probably the winner.
Man, that's tough.
Oh, delicious, mate. And that'll be another adventure of the bucked up hunter. Good on ya.
Dude, that's so tough.
Okay, play Big Daddy Magic one more time because recency bias. Want to give everyone a fair chance here.
Two bucked up and some beer.
And he's buying beer.
The beautiful Sheila buying it for me.
Okay, got the ID.
She gets carded.
You ever had one of these bucked up?
I drank one today. As
Oh man, they're the best things in the world.
Especially if you want to wake up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I drank. Okay, you're looking at 49.16. I was gonna back those up, but
Oh yeah, I forgot about you.
so I drank two monsters and I couldn't still wake
No,
up.
bucked up's the best.
So I drank the bucked up.
It's the official drink of the Monty Show, and you should try E-Trade.
E-Trading.
30-day membership for only $10. I will buy you the membership.
No, I got it.
No.
All right.
Okay. The Aaron Wilson one does.
I mean, the Aaron Wilson one is gas.
I think the Aaron Wilson one wins.
Deny.
I think he wins.
I can't deny that part of it, dude. Like,
all right, we'll end the poll. Aaron Wilson. So, are we gonna? Yeah, I think you have to.
what are the people saying?
Darren Wilson, put my heart on the line by raw dog and bucked up guy. Big Daddy, Boss Frog. It's Big Daddy Magic, dude. Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people saying it's Big Daddy.
Okay, which way you want to go here?
It's always put on me, bro.
It's always put on you.
It's always put on me, bro.
I think Aaron Wilson in the water in Lubbock. I mean, he's in the water in Lubbock.
Yeah, that's probably the way I'm going, dude. But I want to. I want to reward Big Daddy Magic somehow because that's awesome.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Aaron wins the switch.
Yeah.
Then we'll figure it out with Big Daddy Magic. Mike Smith, the people have voted. Yeah, I
mean, I agree. The people did vote that Aaron
which is
won,
why
yeah.
I never put it to a poll. Because the people are.
I mean, we agree with the people.
There's bias. There's bias in them hills of West Virginia.
Mount Mama.
Gumby, he wrestled a bucked up in the fracking water. He won. Aaron won. I agree. Yeah. Congrats. It's got to, let's see. Teddy says it's got to be Aaron.
Yeah.
Switch Steeler guy, Aaron. LMAO. I voted Big Daddy.
Fine Steeler guy.
Yeah. Ask Mrs. Monty. Mrs. Monty is an adult, and I believe she is probably working. She doesn't watch our show ever. Thank you. Aaron Wilson says you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. All right. The Monty Show, as always, presented by our good friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. And before we get to falling out of airplanes, if you've been injured in an accident, and maybe this one in particular matters, I think it's very interesting that the advocates are one of those people that when you're in trouble, you want to be in business with the advocates. When you've been in a car wreck, when you've been in a motorcycle accident, a trip and fall, you got hurt at work. And I always go to our guy the forklift guy that had a forklift skid go through his ankle. You need somebody who knows exactly what to do and how to do it to make sure that your outcome is exactly what it needs to be. And I say this about workman's comp all the time, and I understand you guys. You're like, yeah, my boss said he's going to take care of me, man. And I'm sure they will. But what do you have to lose by talking to the advocates, the workman's comp injury experts? And hey, if everything's on the up and up, they're going to tell you that. They're not out here begging for your business, desperate. What the advocates are simply put, the best injury attorneys in the business. And if you don't have a case or if you're being taken care of well, they're going to tell you that. But if you are not being taken care of well, and you are getting, if you're one of those people that have paid your insurance premiums and they're not going to take care of you, even though you've been a faithful client to that insurance company, which is every day in this flipping country, you want the advocates on your side. You never pay the advocates unless and until they win your case, and you never pay them out of pocket, right? So you don't pay for consultation fees. You don't pay retainers. You can chat with an attorney live online right now, 24/7, 365, and it won't cost you a dime at theadvocates.com. A couple more comments. Jakey Two Holes burner account.
Okay, we're off to a good start here.
Ever consider a career in acting, Aaron?
I mean,
you're not
wrong, bro.
Mr. Downtown, Aaron did that in one take, so you got to give him the props and that Aussie accent, mate.
He's an assassin.
Mike Smith, give Big Daddy Magic a good Victor is the way rookie card and poster. Exactly.
Victor's the way.
James, congrats, Aaron. I promise once I get my bucked up shots, I'm going to do a video related to the upcoming Oak State, South Dakota State game in September.
Hi, this is James. Welcome back. Yay!
I like it. Sean Rollins says, that's it. I'm changing my email. Let's go. I agree. You did it in one take. Aaron, you're the best, dude.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Congratulations, Aaron. Thank you to everybody in Texas. You're now our number one market in the country. And yes, Utah is still number 2, but Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Miami, Orlando, Jacksonville, New York, Chicago, Denver, Boise, Seattle, Portland. You guys are kicking ass on this show. I thank you every day because without you guys, we couldn't do this gig. And we do it every single day except Thursday and Friday this week when we're not going to be on because we have huge meetings at CES in Las Vegas. We are at 50,098 subscribers on this show. That is wild. That in the last 12 months, you guys, do you understand that we've picked up? I want to say it's 41,000.
It is. I looked today. It's 41,000.
41,000 subscribers in a calendar year.
It's wild.
Is absolutely mind-numbing. And so when I say to you guys, hey, man, we couldn't do this without you, I'm dead serious. We couldn't do this without you. I'm just so thankful that all of you are here. So let's get to our non-sports stories of the day. Gumby Fresh Out says 50K. Yay. Shouty says yay.
Yay.
Salamini, you should have given away tickets to the Jim Harbaugh National Championship game. I didn't know there was a Jim Harbaugh National Championship game. Sean Rollins says, damn, you should move to Texas. I'm within 3 hours of Austin and College Station. Waco, Fort Worth to the north. I can watch SEC, Big 12, and ACC football games starting in September. Love it. Darren Ingram, 50K. I thought my computer had a glitch on the screen. Dude, it's wild.
Yeah, it's wild, bro.
And Darren's been a huge part of that because our golf content has been amazing. And again, you guys, find Darren Ingram. He does great virtual lessons. If you're here in the state of Utah, he does unbelievable in-person lessons, indoor, outdoor in the springtime, whatever you need. Darren Ingram. We are going down to St. George after Vegas We are going to play, and I can't remember the name of the course in Vegas. I'm a terrible person, and I should know this already. But we're going to play 2 rounds of golf. We're going to go back to Copper Rock and Hurricane on Saturday. And then we are playing around Friday in Las Vegas.
Bali High.
Yeah, Bali High. That's right. So it's amazing. I take lessons from Darren. I need lessons, Darren. I need more work. I do. OG Gary, the win. No, we played the win with Boss Frog.
It was awesome.
It was. I was terrible.
I mean, I got pissed off, but it was awesome.
I will say though, I don't know. I just got so fed up not hitting my driver well that we got to Wolf Creek and I had just had enough. And I kept my foot on the ground. That's the best round of driving golf I've had ever. Like I legit, and the ball flies there. You're hitting down, you're hitting up. Like I hit the ball a mile. Now, it would have been nice if I could have played my wedges at all. I have always been, and I think you would attest to this, I've always been a pretty good wedge player.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't hit a wedge to save my life. My 50 degree might as well have not been in my bag. Couldn't explain it. Could not explain it.
Yeah.
Y'all know that original video was where I said, yay, I was being sarcastic, right? Yes.
Yay.
Of course.
James, dude, embrace it, bro.
Embrace it.
Embrace
it's fun. It's
you have your own drops on the show, guys.
You're a character on the show, man. Just have fun with it. Have fun with it. Aaron Wilson, gifts the Monty Show membership.
Hey, way to get back, buddy.
He says, hit the like button. Yeah, where are we at on likes?
Where are we at on likes?
We're on 3,000 views, and we're only at 81 likes. I'm terrible.
Come on.
Please hit the like button. That really helps the channel grow.
Get us to 150 today. Let's go.
Mr. Downtown, can Ja use the advocates for his workplace injury? Guy barely showed up to work, dude. Out for the year, labrum surgery. Oof. Not good. Mike Smith, you're not the boss of me. Exactly right. Teddy says, congratulations on 50K. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yay on 50K. Yay.
Yay.
Jakey Two Holes burner account says. Exactly. James, the cherry candy bucked up is very good. Thank you, Monty, for recommending creatine. I can feel the difference. Let's go.
I'm telling you, the creatine thing's real. You can absolutely feel it. Like 100%. You just feel better, dude.
Yeah, absolutely right. Tanner Plummer.
Well, nice of you to show up today, Slick.
We gave away a Nintendo Switch for hitting 50,000 subs, Tanner. Glad you could join us. He said, been out for a bit. What'd I miss?
Nothing.
Nah,
nothing, dude.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
We've been talking Philadelphia Eagles for 2 hours and 35 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
Really sorry about that. Non-sports stories of the day. Are you guys confident in air travel? Dude, this Boeing 737 MAX 9 thing,
Bro.
where you guys, you had to have seen this, unless you're living under a rock like Aaron was in the Australian outback. Did you guys see this thing with Alaska Airlines, right? So beautiful. Alaska Boeing 737.
Now, this is
MAX
not
9.
like, this is not some crazy plane. This is standard, commercial jetliner plane. Nothing crazy here.
Notice the rear door.
Oh.
In the red circle. Yeah, and there it is, gone.
Bro.
This is a code 10 abort.
It flew off mid-flight, and it's terrifying because you're just flying along. And now that happened, you guys, all the airlines have grounded their Boeing 737 MAX 9s. United Airlines today said they have found multiple units with loose bolts. What the is going on with Boeing? Their stock took a massive hit this week. Do you trust airlines?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, when you look at the numbers, commercial air travel is one of the most reliable means of travel we have. That doesn't mean that seeing stuff like this makes me feel any better. I think that when I fly, I'm always on high alert. I'm always like, all right, like, what do we got? Who's sitting around me? How does this plane look? Like, I'm that guy. Now, I'm not stressing once I'm on the plane, but I'm just very mindful. I'm always aware. I'm always looking around, seeing what's what. And the hard part with this one is these bolts, you can't see them. It's not like, oh, hey, one of the wheels fell off, or hey, it would be different. Like, let's say they boarded the plane and the cabin door won't close because it's missing a bolt. That would be different. This situation was, hey, cabin door closes just like it normally would. You get up to about 10,000 feet as the story goes, and the door flies off. Cabin depressurizes. They immediately descend down below 10,000 feet because below 10,000 feet, I guess, apparently, I learned this, you can breathe at that altitude, I guess.
Can. Yep.
And so they descend below 10,000 feet. They land the aircraft. Okay, great. All's well. But I think the hard part here is that it's not like we've got 50 manufacturers of commercial airliners.
No.
Right? So like you've got Boeing and you've got Airbus. Those are the two like dominant names in the space. And it just so happens that I flew on an Airbus over the holidays when I came back. Really enjoyed the Airbus experience.
But the issue is the Boeing 737 MAX has been a disaster.
Yeah.
It was late to market. They have had software issues, so it couldn't fly. There were crashes. Like, this thing's been a disaster. Every airline that's inspected this plane now has found pretty much loose bolts that we've heard of. It's a disaster. And it's not only a disaster for Boeing, it's a disaster waiting to happen. And I don't trust it. And I know we've flown on them, and I didn't think twice about it. I will think twice about it now. It is terrifying to me that door flew off. It's terrifying. It is. And that 10,000 feet thing, I think about our snowboarding. And we snowboard at 10,000 feet occasionally. Like, it's not that they were at 10,000 feet. It's that there was no door on the plane.
And I was looking at this too, just because I thought it was an interesting fact that I came across. Delta does not run 737 MAX 9s.
No, they don't.
Delta runs 757s, 767s, A330s. So they run larger planes from Boeing, and who the hell knows now, right? I mean, again, if it's wrong with the 737, who's to say it's not wrong on the 57 or the 67? But, we haven't heard Delta having any type of issue, and I'm a big Delta guy.
Yeah, I fly Delta pretty much exclusively. Mrs. Monty and I have had multiple disagreements over Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
I will not fly Southwest. I will not fly with you hyenas. No, I'm kidding. I can't stand the boarding process at Southwest. I like the cheaper tickets. I like the flights. I have no problem with the staff. I hate the boarding process. I have status through American Express with Delta. I want my early boarding. I want my better rate on first class tickets.
Well, and it's early exit of the aircraft too. I experienced both when I was traveling for the holidays, leaving home, I was Comfort Plus, right? And so that was, hey, first is going to board and then Comfort Plus boards. The problem is that was a packed flight because it was pre-New Year. And so overhead bins are a problem. And it's just like, dude, like, flying first, you get your own overhead bin, and like there's all this extra stuff, and it makes it worth it. So my point is I hope that this is not a problem that bleeds into the 67 or the 77 or the bigger aircraft.
It's this new 737 MAX. This particular livery has been brutal for Boeing. It has been a massive loss leader for them, and
because it's garbage.
You got to figure it out.
Yeah,
you absolutely got to figure it out. Tanner Plummer, I've been trying to get over my fear of flying for the past couple of months, and I'm going to Cancun in March. So yeah, this story's comforting. Oh, dude, just take a deep breath. You're going to be fine.
Yeah, and I'll also say this: the bigger planes are so smooth. I mean, there's really not a lot to worry about.
I mean, Mapes, as I said, the 737 had those crash issues, and this is the second grounding, full stop.
Yeah,
all of them are grounded. And
it's like 171 or something like that.
Yeah, Boeing has to issue new instructions on how to maintenance the planes to make sure this doesn't happen again. And until they do that, and all the planes are maintenance and inspected, they cannot fly.
Yeah.
So the entire fleet
shouldn't be able to.
The entire fleet is on the ground. It's wild to me. Wild. Jimmy Otson, they fly those planes over land because they don't trust them enough to fly over the ocean. It's ridiculous. Gumby, Airbus for the win. Yeah, I'm a Boeing guy. For sure. Boston Mapes. The doc on Netflix called Downfall is about the Boeing's 737 MAX. Gumby says 737 MAX ass. Mr. Downtown, did you see the iPhone that fell out of the Alaska plane? Not
So
one scratch
legit.
on it.
So legit.
And they found the door in a guy's yard when it blew off the plane. Now the guy called in. But yeah, they found an iPhone and it wasn't broken.
Bulletproof, bro.
It's unbelievable. Did it have an OtterBox on it? Unbelievable. They found multiple phones from what I read today. So yeah, Maury Alvarez. I wonder what the passenger comps were after the plane landed. Oh my God. I don't even know. Do you get back on an Alaska flight?
No.
I mean, it's not Alaska's fault.
It's not, but it happened to them.
It did. OG Gary, I've flown on the 737 MAX and it's been fine until it's not.
Yeah.
Those landings on not fine, not good. Big Blue Horses, Delta. I'm a huge Delta guy. First it was Concorde, now it's Boeing. Well, I don't know if it's the same thing. The Concorde caught on fire and stuff.
Yeah.
You know. Robert Fowler, Monty, are your Cubs signing? They're not signing anymore.
Why, dude? We've had such a good show.
Why bring up the Cubs?
Why would you bring up the Cubs?
Why?
Dude? Like, come on.
Why say hurtful things? By the way, people are asking me in DM about what I did on Prize Picks tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy to talk about it because, your boy got the Karl Anthony Towns Taco Tuesday pick. Let me zip this over to myself.
Taco
Tuesday. Funny enough, I do have a Laker pick. And now, Prize Picks, you guys, I want you to understand. If you are playing six packs, you're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Stop playing six packs. The way that you do Prize Picks is you do them in groups of 3 and you will win more. Percentages are on your side. Here's what I did tonight. Karl Anthony Towns, 17.5 points. His number was 21. Taco Tuesday means they lowered it to 17.5. They're in the second quarter, 8 minutes. He's got 11 already. We should be good to go.
Yep.
And he's going up against an undersized Orlando squad, and I feel pretty good about it. So I'm hoping that, and he just passed the ball in the paint. Prick. I'm hoping that goes well. Anthony Davis against Toronto, who's got no size at all now. He's got 42.5 points and rebounds. Peter Mrazek, the goaltender for Chicago, the Blackhawks, going up against Edmonton, one of the leading shot per game teams. 30 goalie saves. I took more.
Okay. Interesting.
Those are my Prize Picks for tonight. PrizePicks.com, the official daily fantasy partner of the Monty Show. Click the link in the description below or just download the Prize Picks app and use the promo code Monty. Get 100% deposit matching.
There's another bucket for Towns.
Let's go. My guy's gonna cash.
Yeah, all day.
My guy's gonna cash. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
And especially on a Taco Tuesday rip. Heck yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm all here for it. So Prize Picks, the official daily fantasy partner of the Monty Show. Mr. Downtown Tanner, just take some Jolly Greens and you'll be good. Are you guys, how many of you guys are nervous to fly? I love flying. I love traveling. I'm a huge fan of it. Huge fan of it. Big Blue Horses, Delta. I'm all about flyer miles. Me too, man.
Yep.
Although I will say I'm pretty disappointed in Amex just on this one issue because I love Amex. I had the actual Boeing 747 metal card that was made from the airplanes.
You know, the plane they don't make anymore, that iconic plane.
They sent me an email the other day and said, hey, we think your card has been compromised. We're sending you a new one. And it's just a plain ass old purple Delta Amex card.
It's ridiculous.
But what do I love about it? The fact that Amex was like, yeah, dude, we think your card was compromised. You keep using it. We're going to send you a new one. Sent me a new one.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Customer service, bro.
Great customer service. It's now Boeing manufactures it. Manufactures what? They do. I will fly Spirit Airlines. Why? So you can become a Spirit? You want to be unalived?
Yay!
Come on, man. Spirit or Frontier? Bullet. Over Southwest. I hate Southwest boarding process. Or you don't have an assigned seat. Couples will sit in seats 4 and 6 and put their bags in seat 5. They don't let you do that anymore. They don't let you do that. So, Phoenix Mazda. I just flew the MAX 9 with United when I went from West Palm to Newark, then from Newark to Phoenix back in December. Seems like you made it. Michigan got better after Connor Stallions was fired. They did, apparently. They were pretty good all year. Mr. Downtown Tanner just takes some Jolly Greens. They should just let the person keep the door as a souvenir. Yeah, no, they confiscated it. Gumby Fresh Out, 911, what's your emergency? I'm calling to report an airplane door in my backyard. My dog is dead.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Darren Ingram, Utah Jazz. Yeah, how about the Jazz? Best, what I think Tony Jones with the Athletics said the best 15-game stretch in Will Hardy's career as a Jazz head coach, 11-4. Like, and I'll eat my words because I was talking to a dude today who straight up said, I don't want to hear about Walker Kessler anymore. They are a better, more efficient offense when he comes off the bench. And if that's the case, okay, Walker Kessler should be starting.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Best stretch of their career, of Will Hardy's career. And now you're going to trade all these dudes at the deadline. It's January. Trades are coming.
Yep.
Trades are coming, man. So, James, it's Taco Tuesday. Yay. Yeah. Concord was caused by FOD on the runway. Fecal matter on the door. Is that what FOD stands for? I don't know. Robert, no Monty. Amanaga pick the Cubs just came out. Okay. I don't want to hear about it. Listen. It's all well and good. This is why I don't talk about the Cubs.
FOD stands for foreign object debris, just so you know.
Okay. Listen, you guys.
You know.
I'm here for it. And I am no. I don't want to talk about the Cubs because no, I'm not doing it. You're not dragging me into it. I'm not doing it.
You were right there.
No.
And then he pulled back.
I am not. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. I'm not doing it.
No.
And I understand Shota Amanaga, the lefty.
You're doing it, dude.
The lefty Japanese pitcher has signed with the Cubs. Am I supposed to be excited about that?
Yay!
Is his last name Bellinger? Is Amanaga short for Bellinger? It's not. It's not. You're no. Nope.
Good talk.
No. I do not. No. You're not going to suck me into this. DeJounte Murray, please, kind of makes perfect sense. But it's out of timeline, though. DeJounte Murray for the Jazz is out of timeline. Because if you're going to trade, and I hear pretty much every day about Lauri Markkanen being traded by the Jazz. If you're going to trade Lauri Markkanen, are you going to trade him for DeJounte Murray? I don't think that works. How's that going to work? And I think DeJounte Murray's a hell of a player. One, something was wrong in San Antonio, and it hasn't worked out in Atlanta. Number one. Number two, the Jazz are, at this point, years from winning.
Yeah.
Because I think you have a foundation. Keontae George, Walker Kessler. I think John Collins was a good trade. I'm not somebody that's off the John Collins bandwagon. I think has been a very good pickup. Jordan Clarkson. The bigger question with the Jazz, what about Colin Sexton? Is that a long-term fit now? He wanted a chance to show that he could be a starter, and he is absolutely playing his ass off. So have you solved your starting guard issue here? I don't know. Aren't you fabulously undersized at that point?
Yes.
Because Keontae George is going to be a starting point guard, period. What are we even talking about? So if that's the case, and you trade Clarkson and Lauri Markkanen, let's say, how does DeJounte Murray fit in? I don't know that he does. And my point really is If you're the Knicks, and I keep hearing about this all the time, if you're the Knicks and you're willing to give up 6 picks to get Donovan Mitchell, what does that require? That requires a third team who's got talent that helps the Cavaliers or the Knicks, and the Jazz have that. Now, are they going to take Lauri Markkanen back? They're probably not. But if you're going to make a 3 or 4 team trade, you have chips and picks to be involved in that team.
Yep.
And as one of the teams in that deal. They're not going to make trades to win now. I'm not trying to be, negative Nathaniel here, but I don't see them making trades to win now.
It doesn't make sense. You start making trades to win now once you have that real defined core. Like Keontae George is clearly your starting point guard for the next 10 years. He's that guy. But who's the wing scorer? Is Walker Kessler gonna be a starter in this league or not? That's what I'm saying. You're still figuring out guys here. So that's great that you've gone 11-4, and I love that. And I love that they've made adjustments. They, seemingly done what we asked them to do. But what is Will Hardy with a proper lineup? What is Will Hardy with a proper roster?
And I would also say that DeJounte Murray's got about half a dozen suitors. I think the Lakers would love DeJounte Murray. The Knicks would love DeJounte Murray. I think he is absolutely a fallback position for Donovan Mitchell and the Knicks. I am very, very curious to see what are the Suns going to do, because I don't believe that the Suns can stand pat with the roster that they have. I think Houston is in a very interesting position. They have young talent that I think they want to move. And then there's Danny Ainge. And I think it's very interesting that all we've heard from Danny, I'm going to compete. I'm going to build a roster. I'm going to compete. And he has yet to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I go back to this Jordan Clarkson decision that has been an abject failure because Jordan's a starter. He's a starter. He's a starter. Well, what's he now? Well, that's right. He's coming off the bench. They're going to move him. And I think Danny doesn't believe that he has a veteran on this roster that's a foundational piece of their championship team.
Totally agree. You've got a bunch of guys.
Oh, Karl Anthony Towns.
And I think that puts him over the number.
Oh, my God. I think he just ended Wagner.
Okay, so I'm in a great place. My hockey selection's already got a point. And
oh my God. Karl Anthony Towns. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm actually going to win tonight, dude.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
You never win.
Yeah.
You never win. Darren Ingram, don't see them trading Lauri, and don't see Danny waiting years to compete. Well, I think they'll trade Lauri the first day. You offer him what he wants, he's going to trade everybody. I think they will trade him. I do. Robert Fowler, I'm a diehard Celtics fan and want them to take Olynyk from the Jazz. That ship sailed. We need a dude with size who can score, and Boston loves him from the past. He can't score. He can't move. He doesn't move well. He does not move well. And I think Boston's quite interesting. What's Milwaukee going to do? Milwaukee's there's a lot of trades that are going to happen.
Yes.
A lot of trades are going to happen.
I don't think the Knicks are done yet either.
No. Boss Frog, wait, Monty, are you going to Las Vegas this weekend? Yes, Thursday, Friday. We will be in Las Vegas for CES. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, Thursday and Friday. We have a bunch of meetings Thursday, golfing Friday, driving to Mesquite on Friday.
Yeah.
So going to Copper Rock Saturday. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing, I think. All right.
We should go.
Dunzo?
Yeah. Yeah. Been a good show.
We're not going to talk about the Epstein tapes? No, we should. We should.
I don't want to razz them.
I don't get people upset. I
mean, we already did the Michigan stuff.
We already did the Michigan thing.
Yeah, you know.
The Monty Show, as always, presented by our good friends at TryDayTrading.com. Stop making excuses. Start making bread. TryDayTrading.com/Monty. Your key to your financial future. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.